Last time on Harbinger, our heroes did a fight. Hardtack was introduced to his daughter, who was none other than Linnea, the Tempest of the Five Corsairs. Linnea asked Hardtack if he would join her. Her crew, however, did not approve. They threw a mutiny, and at the same time, Diedrich began freeing the crew of the Freedom's Fury. Combat began in a fit of storms and tentacles. Juniper summoned 8 giant badgers. Raven slew the first mate, and the party escaped the island with Linnea close behind. On the open sea, the crew of Freedom's Fury encountered a dragon turtle carcass and a giant snake with a human head. Cove magically pushed the carcass away from the ship, and Hardtack fed rats to the snake. They were rewarded with supplies to refuel their cannons. Later, the ship was approached by a merchant vessel called the Seaside Extravaganza. The captain, an elderly human female named Giselle, welcomed the party aboard for an epic shopping trip. But what awaits our heroes? How will their shopping go? Will they locate the temple? Find out right now on Harbinger. Alright.
That was our anime intro.
What?
We had a great anime intro moment.
Oh,
there.
did you? Alright,
Yeah.
great.
Oh, man.
I guess I'll catch that on the rewatch.
You'll see it on the
You'll
rewatch.
see it later. You'll see it later.
Great. I'm very excited. Alright, so we're gonna start out a little differently than how we normally do. This time, so normally we start out with fun facts. However, this time we're gonna start out. I've asked the party to each answer one of the following questions, or to describe one of the following events: a pleasant conversation you had with someone on the ship, an unpleasant conversation you had with someone on the ship, something that you opened up about to someone on the ship, and who it was, or something that your character failed at on the ship. So, this time, we're gonna start with Juniper. Juniper, which of the questions did you choose to answer?
I'm so sorry. Can you either come back to me or repeat those?
Totally.
I'll put it
Totally.
in chat. You're good.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So it's something, a pleasant conversation you had on the ship, an unpleasant conversation you had on the ship, something that your character opened up about to someone on the ship, or something that your character failed at on the ship.
Can you come back to me? I'm really sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you're good. You're good. All right. So, we'll start with Cove then.
Okay.
Cube.
So the one that I did was the opening up to someone on the ship about something.
Nice.
So Cove actually had a night where he couldn't fall asleep, and Mel was also awake. So Cove and Mel had a conversation about what it was like before being trapped in the bag man's lair. So Cove talked about being in Sunhome and hearing a scream out in an alleyway and going to help someone, and then being snatched into the bag.
Nice.
They bonded over
that.
trauma.
Trauma bonding.
Good fun fact,
Drama
Cove.
bonded.
Nice. All right, you're gonna move to the back of that queue then. Next up, Hardtack. Do you have which one did you answer?
Yeah, so I think there was an elephant in the room after last episode. That elephant being, hey, I have a daughter now. And I think he had to have conversed with Mikhail, who they have been somewhat close and intimate together. That, hey, I have a daughter. And I think Hardtack is nervous in that conversation because he hasn't, like, ever been with somebody else since that time. So, like, he doesn't know how she responds, but
She's on the ship,
opened
right?
up about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so Linnea has been following in her own little, what is it, a sloop? Is that what it's
Yeah.
called? Yeah. So she's been, she like, the ship has just been towing her,
Mhm.
and she hasn't come off the sloop in like the past day or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay, yeah. That was good. Hardtack.
Thanks.
Juniper, you good to go?
Totally.
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. I'm doing like a combo of something that my character failed at and a pleasant conversation. It'll make sense. Trust me.
Love it.
So if you recall, Juniper has been slowly over the past time period of being on the ship trying to make the food that they cook with Chare when they do, progressively spicier, but like only sometimes as like a fun trick to secretly try to like whatever. Anyways, and so Juniper's been like experimenting with like spicier food and trying to be secretive about it and like trick everyone into eating super spicy food. And they have thought this whole time that it was like top secret, no one knew about, but actually the whole time Chare has been assisting and has known, and we only just recently figured that out when Chare asked a question randomly about the spicy experiment, and Juniper was like, wait, you know about that? Anyways, that's all.
Awesome. I love it. Diedrich, you're next. Which question did you answer?
I answered 2 of them.
Nice.
It's not really like a specifically pleasant conversation, but like a specific one conversation. But Lucky, Corey, and Diedrich have gotten really close again. Like they grew up on the streets together. She's run like a bunch of little scams with Diedrich, but they knew each other when they were like kind of young, and so like this is them reconnecting now that they're a little bit older and talking about like what they've been through, and they're becoming definitely besties again for sure. I also like, that's a fun, cute one, but like a funny one is that it's not unpleasant or a thing. It's kind of an unpleasant, but a thing we failed at. So I think that we started talking about how much we've grown and how much we've gotten older and how we never really went to school. And so Lucky, Corey, and Diedrich went to Harkin and asked if Harkin would like teach us, like homeschool us. And we are very bad students. It's not like a total fail, but like Harkin is tutoring us in like a classroom setting on the boat, and we're very bad at it. So like we're learning our alphabet and math and stuff, and we drive him absolutely nuts.
I love that very much. That's awesome.
What is happening? Why is everyone? What is happening?
Sorry, Artemis was just scaling the thing hanging on Penny's wall in the background. Just absolute climbing.
I saw her like get into like stance position, and I was like, "Oh, this cat's about to fucking climb."
She was like just off screen on stream, which is heartbreaking, but it 1000%. That was the most absurd thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
she was so high.
Just like the. Oh wow, that was weird.
I missed
wow.
it.
Okay. Nice.
Get a cat.
Right, I love that. And then last but not least, Raven. Which question did you answer?
The last one of something Raven's failed at. So we've been on the seas for quite some time, and Raven is completely failing at having proper sea legs. Raven cannot hold a like stable like at all. Cannot walk in a straight line. Girl's all over the place. Her bow is bumping into doorways. She's like bruising her hips on barrels, like just completely failing at being like this, like, stealthy kind of, sneaky. Like, no, she's bumping into everything. Like, anyway.
Awesome.
I love it. That's amazing.
I love it. So the way that I'm gonna resolve these, I'll just do like a real quick. We don't have to RP the whole thing. But so Cove, you spoke with Mel, right?
Mm-hmm. Trauma bonded.
So so I will say that Mel was very responsive. She, especially because the two of you were like in the bag at the same time, and she
Bag buddies.
Bag buddies. You bonded over that trauma, and so that was a really nice experience. Hardtack. Mikhail wasn't thrilled, but she was like, look, this is obviously nothing that, like, you know, this happened like way before we even met. And I think she probably would have asked what you plan on doing with this situation.
It's a good question.
Do I have to
Bessie.
respond right now to that?
If you want, I mean, if you want, you can.
I think Hardtack would respond with a I don't really know, because I have this one interaction with her where she like kind of ruthlessly killed a crew that was mutinying. So yeah, I don't know yet, but it can't hurt to try.
And then I think her follow-up question would be, what do you think she's gonna do when she finds out about us?
I don't know. I might have
Okay!
hard talk on my
Escándalo.
hands.
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, and so Diedrich, Lucky Corey, I'm gonna say that, so, these lessons with with Harkin, we have like a sort of Ferris Bueller-esque kind of montage where Harkin is teaching like the fundamentals of math, the fundamentals of like history, of like grammar, and we see that Lucky Corey, who you find out actually knows a little bit of magic,
Interesting.
intrinsically, that she is Harkin calls her an arcane trickster,
Cool.
and she will, like, Harkin will he'll put his spellbook down, write something on the chalkboard, and you'll see the spellbook will just kind of float under Lucky Corey's chair, and she'll just like look at you, Diedrich, and go like this.
Yeah.
And Harkin will turn around and he'll just like slam his fists on the table, and there's just a montage of shit like that happening a bunch of times. But you end up learning a little bit of math, basics. But yeah, Raven, you're bumping all over the place. And I'm gonna say Lullaby, as an extension, also is like you know when like
Like a car,
when you
dog
put-
in the back of the car.
yeah, a dog in the back of the car. But also whenever you put like little booties on a dog or a cat, and they're just like, yeah, it's like that the whole time. To the point where like sometimes you have to activate the bracer and teleport Lullaby to you, or teleport yourself to Lullaby, like depending on where either of you are on the ship. Yeah. So that's
Poor
yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
We're
Nice.
just
He's doing his
struggling.
best.
I really like the idea of a wolf, like
Yeah, and he's just like
A big wolf and booties.
All right, so we will get to the shopping. However, there's one thing I wanted to do first. You all leveled up, and I forgot to tell you.
Nice.
You're on level 7 now. We're going to do the level up vignettes later on in this episode. I do want to cover Juniper's like now.
Okay.
So
It's because I'm special and not for any other reason.
exactly, it's because I like Juniper more than I like everybody else here. So
It's
I'm not
evident.
here for your
Wow,
approval.
We
Yeah.
knew
Wow.
it.
yeah.
What happened to the last time we had an episode where you were talking about how Juniper is the problem and now Juniper?
Actually-
Oh no, you were the problem the whole
Yeah,
time.
well,
It was pretty
I've
sure
I've
it was you.
rewatched that episode several times, and I remember hearing that Juniper's not the problem.
That's right.
But yeah,
Brainwash.
I think there were.
Brainwash.
Oh, also, I have 2 villain points. I
Let me
just wanna.
remind you.
At the
it's
beginning
in
of
the
yeah.
note.
I am not the problem. Yeah.
Of course, Juniper is the favorite. They take the notes.
No,
I mean, yeah.
So, Juniper, you are sitting in your meditation, as you do for 4 hours every night to recover your strength, recover your spells, recover your stamina. And you are wearing the necklace with the fang that you found on the grave of where your family had died. Part of Melchior's necklace. And as you're meditating, you feel a warmth coming from the necklace, from the fang in particular. And you focus and you hear a voice. Juniper. Is that you?
Who's asking?
Juniper, it's me.
How are you talking to me?
So you feel a pulse of warmth from the necklace, and Melchior's voice says, I felt the presence of this artifact moving quite some time ago, but I wasn't able to accurately communicate through it. I take it you went back to where it happened, and that's how you got this.
Yeah, well, there are questions I still don't have the answers to.
Such as?
Where to begin? I don't understand anything that happened my whole entire life. I still don't.
So, there is a, you hear, there is a pause, and Melchior, he says, where are you right now?
Where are you right now?
He says, when I left with what's left of our family, I decided that we needed to travel south, but we felt a call to our coastal brethren, so I am currently around Nide, a large island to the north, in the forests up there.
Do I know where that is in relation to where we are? Sorry.
Yes, you do, actually. Yeah, I will. I'll move you all to the big map. So, if you all are this way, west. I will just. I got my little arrows. You're all going that way. I'll say from Sunhome, you traveled north. Nide is north east, but Nide is a huge chunk of land.
Okay.
It's about, let's see, it's maybe this big around.
Okay.
It's huge. It's the original continent where civilization began, and then everyone kind of traveled south to get to Aranel. And yeah, that's where Nide is.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Thank you. So that doesn't tell, this information doesn't, it doesn't indicate oh, we could travel 2 days and meet up. It doesn't super help.
Where you are right now, let's see. So you traveled north, and then you went west a bit. So right now, you all are you're north of Nide, I'd say.
Okay.
Melchior, he says, I sense through the necklace that you've grown stronger.
Yeah, I have. By myself, without you.
Good. Juniper, you were always one of the stronger ones in our family. I know that you were very young when you left, but even at your age, I remember Lier telling me one day that when you had cast your first cantrip, You were only, what, 30, 40 years old? Absolutely incredible.
Why are you complimenting me? What are you trying to get?
Not trying to get anything.
Why should I
Juniper.
trust you now?
I miss you. We all miss you. And, when I felt that it was you that had taken the Fang, I was relieved. But Juniper, there are things that you must know. And if you're willing, I would like to see you with our family. You have my word. There is no ill will or malice.
Juniper says, your word isn't enough. And then she takes off the necklace.
Whoa.
Let's go, bestie. Pop off.
And jumps off the side of the boat and turns into a shark, please.
Nice.
Shark fitting.
All right, yeah. So you jump off the boat, you turn into a shark, and
Sorry. Sorry if
No.
that's not where you were hoping this would go.
I had no expectations. This is great. This is great. So you jump off the boat, you turn into a shark, and I'm going to say that you're swimming, and because you're level, like,
A million. Sorry.
because you're level 1,000,000, you can be a shark for 3 hours with one wild shape, and you get 2 wild shapes. So you could be a shark for like 6 hours if you wanted to. And so I'm going to say that during those 3 hours, you're swimming around, and there is you come across a school of sharks. And they see you, and they begin to just swim in tandem with you, and you kind of get lost in just the mentality of swimming with a school and just not making decisions, but everyone makes decisions at the same time. And as you do, you begin to just focus your green sight just a little bit while in this form. And you tap into... You know that when you had originally first turned into a sea creature, it was in the river, and it wasn't in this huge, vast body of water. But opening your green sight in the middle of the ocean, you get a vast scale of how much natural energy there really is, and you remembering what Chare had said about you, kind of like opening your green sight a little more and being able to take in more information, you try that, splitting it in that same mentality of swimming in a school, of not focusing, just existing and letting things happen as they happen. And something clicks in your mind where you are able to tap into this vast amount of energy in the form of tier 4 spells. Juniper, you are a level 7 druid.
Hell yeah.
What I would like you to do for me is roll the hit dice button.
Okay. I'll do it. As soon as I find it.
Yeah, no problem. It's in the center of your sheet above your text.
It's taking approximately 50,000 years to load.
Roll 20 really hates you.
Yeah,
Roll 20 is
doesn't-
like, I don't know what that is. Character sheet? Never heard of it.
Never heard of her.
Okay, sorry, where is it? Spells?
It's in your core.
Core?
It's above your attacks.
Hit dice.
Yeah.
1,000,000?
Whoa, maximum! You have
Let's
50 hit
go.
points?
I'm so strong.
Oh my god.
Do you really have
Yo.
50?
Holy shit.
What's it like to
I
be
think
the
I got
chosen
maximum
one?
last time too, or the time before.
You're so
That's-
healthy.
You're
Fucking
literally
incredible.
you are literally God's
Hell
favorite,
yeah.
and by God I mean
Our
Tyler.
druid tank. Holy
That's
shit.
incredible.
Oh my God.
Incredible. Incredible. So I should also let you know, because of your circle of the moon, you can turn into creatures with a challenge rating as high as your druid level divided by 3 rounded down. So you can hit challenge rating 2 creatures now. Which was a thing last level, but I forgot to tell you. So yeah, nice.
No, thank you
All
for
right,
reminding me because I always forget. Like I've known this, I've said it aloud a few times, and I keep forgetting because it involves math. As soon
Yep.
as my brain gets to round down, I'm like, I don't know what that means. Just kidding. But thank you.
You're good. Totally good. I believe I've put all of the 4th level spells for Druid in your sheet. You can prepare another spell.
Cool.
I think it's your Druid. Yeah, it's your Druid level plus your Wisdom modifier. So you can prepare 11 spells. You can prepare different ones each day. Whatever. Okay. Nice job. All right. And now we get to something very different. Welcome aboard
We're
the Seaside Extravaganza!
Tyler, I made this joke last episode, and it didn't go through, and I think
Is
the,
it-
Make it again.
the
Yeah, do it, do it.
avatar.
Do it,
Okay.
do it,
Okay.
do
okay,
it. She's
okay,
like, we've
okay.
got all sorts of things. We got, you like curios? We got curios.
What are curios?
She's like, I don't know, but we got them. Avatar.
Thank you
so
for
she,
humoring me.
Yeah, no problem. I saw it, like, as I was rewatching it, I was like, oh, I missed it.
Yeah,
I missed
it's
it.
okay. It's
But
alright.
it still happened anyway, like,
did.
organically. But, so, so, Giselle, you all walk onto the gangplank, the whole party, except for Swablin.
No goblins allowed.
No
yeah, no
goblins
goblins allowed.
allowed.
Oh, I see that rule.
Yeah. There is a sign. It is the bottom sign. It is the first sign that you see. It says bathrooms upon request. No goblins, please. Thursday is cake day. Today is Thursday. We take Electrum. Trades acceptable. Misconduct will be punished. There are, besides Giselle, it's a whole lot of gnomes. You notice that. So the ship is huge, gargantuan ship. It looks almost as though it's like a freighter, and it's just you go below deck, and there are just rows and rows and rows of shelves. You notice that there are stairs that go even further down. You're not sure what's down there, and then there are signs posted everywhere that's just prices, item lists, things of that nature. Giselle looks up at all of you. She says, all right, who wants to go first?
Diedrich is. Can Diedrich,
Okay, cool!
can Diedrich go down the stairs?
Yeah.
Cool. That's what he
Diedrich,
does.
you're with Lucky Corey.
Okay.
You and Lucky
Char
Corey
is
go
with
down the
us,
stairs.
Just
Yes,
to
Char is, Char is with you. It's everybody. Everybody's on the ship.
Except for
Everybody wants to
Swablin.
go shopping, except for Swablin. Swablin's just like, I will, and he just kind of like looks around the ship, and we just hear like, and the door closes.
Can
Yeah.
Hardtack go back and talk to Swablin?
Yeah, of course.
So
Hey.
Hardtack
Yeah.
like sees him and he like goes back to the boat and he says, "Swablin,
Captain.
yes, thank you, at ease, soldier. Do you want anything? Do you need anything?
Aw.
Clothing.
Clothing, okay.
Clothing.
Any particular?
This all of Swablin clothes.
I was gonna say, what is Swablin wearing?
Swablin is. I'm glad you asked. This is your crew. Swablin is in. He's on the bottom right. He's got what looks like a shitty hat, shitty coat, shitty pants, shitty boots.
Shitty boots.
It's like
Shitty,
I think
shitty
I remember
everything.
when we met
It's
him,
like, yeah.
he was wearing like clothes that are way too big for him.
Yes.
right? Like
Yeah.
it was obviously stolen clothes, and we were pretty sure it was a couple kids in a trench coat.
Yeah. Basically, what happened was when you got on the ship, Mikhail used one of her devices to like cut and re-stitch some of the clothing, so at least it fits him. But she was like, that's all I'm doing for this guy. So yeah, that's what Swaldman's got.
Cool.
He
about
says,
And I think Hardtack's like trying to size him up, like he's like putting his hand like kind of towards the top of Swablin, like measuring against his leg, trying to figure out how big the clothes are.
so Swablin says, pretty man say Swablin is children size.
Got it. All right, children size, perfect. Okay,
Snacks.
snacks as
Snacks.
well.
Yes.
What kind of snacks do you like? Snacks. Okay.
I don't know. Snacks.
I'll find some goodies for you. Okay. And he like
Captain.
Hardtack just does like he's never saluted to anybody in his crew before. Like that's not something that's happened. So he's just like, cool. And then goes back
Nice.
to the ship.
All right, yeah, you get back to the ship. Diedrich, you go down the stairs, and it looks as though this is the larger items section,
Okay.
where it's things that don't fit on the shelves, things that are like bulky, odd sizes. And there are gnomes just mulling about, picking things up, putting them down, rearranging things. Corey leans over to you, and she says, so, what do you think punished means?
Punished?
Yeah, it says misconduct will be punished.
I don't know. Probably just like a slap on the wrist, if I had to guess.
Some people are into that. All right, we could do that.
Diedrich reads, because he just learned how to read, right? With
It's true.
Harkin. He says, what do you think upon request means?
I think it means if you want it.
What's a bathroom?
Bathroom, Diedrich, come on. She's like, you know what? Fucking, it's where you shite.
What's a shite?
Are you telling me that a street rat like you has never heard of and does not know the meaning of the word shite? Because I don't believe it.
Cut
Let's
away,
just-
cut away.
Remember who's the problem.
Okay.
Genuinely though, what the hell is Electrum?
She's like, I have no idea what the fuck Electrum is.
Cake day? I know what cake day is.
Alright, we could get some. Do you want to get some cake?
Is it Thursday?
I don't know. I mean, she said that there would be cake, and I don't want to steal it out of your stomach.
Definitely want cake.
Alright, let's get some cake.
Cake
Let's
first.
get
Cake
some
first.
All
Cake first. Then
So, yeah.
stealing.
Yeah, so you go back up to the top floor where there's a gnome who's named Tully Mully, and he is serving. He's got a plate full of different slices of cake, and he's like, "All right, well, we've got cherry, we've got boysenberry, we have chocolate," and he's just giving out different cakes.
You got any other flavors? Name a couple more flavors in that voice for me, Tyler.
Apple cake. We've got vanilla.
I'll take
Kelp?
cherry, please. Cherry.
All right, cherry cake. There you go. And he gives you.
What is this voice? Okay,
I don't know.
I take the. I love it. I
Such
take
a
the
good
cherry.
voice, though. For
It's
I'm
so
at- I'm at
good.
the
No,
bottom of the barrel
It's
for my voices.
fantastic.
It's a great
so
cake
good.
gnome voice.
Wait,
It's so good. I take the cherry cake. Does anything happen when I take a bite of this cherry cake?
No, well,
Okay, great.
a
Okay, good.
smile blossoms on your face.
Great, thank you.
All right, we
cherry.
so we cut to let's Cove. We'll cut to Cove. Cove.
Cool.
So, are you with anybody right now?
I think that I would be browsing by myself.
Okay.
And I would like to ask Giselle, because I only have 10 gold. So, is there anything that I could do because I don't have a lot of money. If I wanted something, is there anything I could help you with aboard your ship in return? Kind of like a...
yeah. Yeah, well, so we also do trading here.
Okay.
And so, if you want, we could do, we could do some stuff. If you want, so what do you do magic?
Yeah, what, do you need me to do something to help you, or?
Yeah, that would be great. So, here's what you can do for me. A lot of my crew are diseased. And so, if you wouldn't mind, what kind of magic do you do?
I can heal them. What do you need healed? Show me to them.
So she's like,
That's why they have that accent. That's why they have that voice. Is because they're fucking diseased and sick.
They all have laryngitis.
Yeah, they all have.
She sends you to the med bay.
Okay.
She sends you to the medical ward, and there are a bunch of gnomes that have scurvy. They have all kinds of diseases that you might get at sea. And if you, so she says, I'll credit you 100. No, sorry, that's a lot. I'll credit you 50 gold for each illness that you mend.
Okay. Let's see, what can I do? I can do. Where are all the things?
Character sheet.
I'm gonna fucking hate. I'm reading on the thing that you just learned. Get off my back.
Fight.
Are any of them like? Because I can do some stuff with people that are poisoned. Can I just straight up heal people? That's a question now.
Yeah. So if you have any spells, there's a spell called Lesser Restoration.
That's what I was looking at.
Perfect. That cures one disease, like one minor disease.
Okay.
And you can cast it at higher levels if you have spell slots of higher levels. So you begin casting. There's a gnome that comes up to you, and he's got like these like pus-filled wounds on his hands. And you see there's like veins that are like dark brown that are like coming from it, and you cast Lesser Restoration, and it just whoosh.
Perfect.
The wound falls off.
That's
and he's
one.
Just he's like, nah, thanks, buddy, and he walks away. You continue. How many spell slots? Basically, how many spell slots do you want to use?
I'm gonna use. I'll do 2 level 2 and 1 level 3.
Okay, great. So you have, I'm going to say with a level 3, I don't think Lesser Restoration does anything for...
It doesn't.
Okay.
I don't think it does.
So then you have 150 gold credit.
Amazing. I have money.
Nice. Yeah, you come up, 3 gnomes are just like trudging after you. One of them like points to his teeth, and they're all like not like infected anymore. One of the gnomes points to his hand, and the other gnome points down, and he like gives a thumbs up. And so Giselle's like, "Wow, you made quick work of all those diseases. Good job."
Nurse Cove, ready to go.
She writes out a voucher for 150 gold, and
Yes.
she says, "Thanks. Now, is there anything you'd like specifically to buy?"
Okay. I would like to purchase, where is it? I want to get, because it seems very tempting, I want to get the Ring of Super Hugs.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I also would like to get Blanket of Starlight.
Okay. Do you want to know what these things do before you get them, or?
They sound fun, so I'm going to buy them and you could tell me after.
Does
I
not
like
care.
it. That's
Blind
good.
purchasing. It sounds
All
fun right now.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good.
Just put him shopping time.
Super
You,
hugs.
I wanted to shop, Tyler.
Ring
That's
of
true.
super
That's
hugs really sounds threatening.
Exactly.
So the ring of super hug.
No, never
the
mind.
ri-
If you're gonna tell me things, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, so all right. So we'll start with the blanket of starlight. We'll go in alphabetical order. Sorry. Actually, what else would you like to purchase before I
I want to
describe
buy.
everything?
I want to buy 2 souvenirs.
Awesome. Okay. Good. So there is a little snow globe where instead of like a little house in snow, it looks like a little merfolk that's
Cute.
on a rock, and it's like looking out, and like every time you shake the snow globe, a little wave comes crashing against the rock, and there's like a little bit of foam that just like explodes all
Did
over.
you recently watch Little Mermaid, Tyler?
No, I did not.
Okay.
No, I did not.
Seems inspired.
I
by.
did recently watch Hercules. which
Oh,
is
okay.
so fucking
You
good.
should.
As you should.
As I
Period.
should.
As one
It's
does.
my favorite Disney movie. I'm gonna wrangle myself.
I'd love to
Cove,
watch
so
that
you
at your
got-
house.
Yeah, we can do that. Cove. So you got that's one souvenir. You got the ring of super hugs. That's 101 gold, and the blanket of starlight. That's 106 gold. You have 44 gold voucher left on your voucher.
Is it only good for here? Can I trade it in for real gold?
He's like, I mean, I don't. No, it's store credit only. Sorry,
Okay, then I'm gonna spend it all right
I
now.
have to be pragmatic. I'm a businesswoman.
So, I have 44 on my voucher.
Yeah. Did you want books at all? I recall you
Yes,
saying that
I
you
would
wanted
like some books.
Okay.
What kind of mundane books do you have?
So you just start pouring through the books, and I'm gonna copy and paste them.
I'm so excited. Y'all, I'm shopping.
I
It's
know.
happening.
I'm really happy for you.
Copy. So, I'll read them out loud. There is Trust Me, I'm a Chef by Sir Galen of the Spoon. You Swore Vengeance, Now What? By Queen Yara Sophia Arden. The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. This Story Won't Satisfy, It Probably Won't Even Conclude by Grim R.R. Marin. The Big Picture Book of Demon Princes by Skalskagumbrakus. Jokes That Shall Not Get You Cancelled by Lord Lu. And then there was another one that I forgot to write in because the player who plays that character told me what the name was. It's called It's All Good Man, How to Like Figure Stuff Out Dude by Amon the Chill.
Okay.
Are these the
I-
special books or the
These are
These-
mundane books.
mundane books? Okay.
Okay, I need to buy one of those books.
Okay, wait, before
Okay.
you do this, Yara
What?
Sophia is Queen Yara Sophia is a character I've played for Tyler in a D&D one shot.
That I was
Yeah.
also in.
That's right.
Yeah,
and
that
Penny
was-
was there too.
That was
And
Queen
also,
Yara
that
Sophia.
name came from. It
From
is
a
also the
drag
name of a drag
queen.
queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
my
One of my
Anyway,
God.
favorite drag queens, Yara Sophia.
I
But
love
yeah,
Yara
well,
Sophia.
so
Anyway,
if you'll
Okay, sorry.
recall, Yara Sophia
Yeah.
was her name, and she
married
met
the-
one of the characters whose last name was Arden, and so
are they?
They got
Aww!
married! I know, I'm so
Shut
excited
up!
right
That's
now.
so cute.
I got married and I didn't even know it. That's the title of my book by Diedrich.
The
I'll
book.
put-
Dietrich, right? Or
No. No,
Okay.
it's a blank book. No. Better, it's a coloring book.
Perfect. Paint by numbers, but you don't know numbers yet.
right. There's just no numbers in it.
here's the other one. It's All Good Man, How to Like Figure It Out Dude by Amon the Chill.
Okay. So, I would like to buy Jokes That Shall Not Get Ye Cancelled.
Okay.
I really
and
want
then
the
I.
big picture book of Demon Princes, if that's okay, Kenny. I would love
What?
I would love Diedrich to buy the Demon Princes one, unless you're about to buy it.
Which one?
I'm
No.
calling dibs on it unless you want it.
No, you're
Okay.
good.
All right, good.
Then I also. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna buy that one book, so that's 42 left on my voucher. I
Okay.
feel like I am at Dave and Buster's right now. Another thing that I would like to purchase is I want to get the 40 gold magic arrows and give them to Raven.
Oh,
Please don't do that. I have so much money. Don't
we
do
have
that.
so much gold.
I have so much
I
money.
We have
don't know what
so
else to
much
buy.
gold.
How
Why
many
don't
do you
look
want to
at the
get?
special books?
Well, I'm just
The
gonna because I have the
market price one.
40.
How many do you want? One?
One, yeah. We'll just
Okay,
do one.
roll me a D100.
Oh Jesus, where's that?
One.
She's like, you got the grab bag special.
D100.
Yeah.
57.
57? What arrow do you get on a 57? Oh, cool! So she gives you an arrow.
You change your mind about that gift now.
It's light blue, and it has runes carved in the shaft and in the arrowhead, and the feathers glow slightly, different
What?
colors.
Ooh.
She says it comes with a little blurb. It says arrow of illusion. This arrow creates an illusion of the archer at the impact site.
Oh my god.
So I take that and I'm gonna give it to Raven.
Nice.
We gotta play with that later.
Amazing.
And then my final two on the voucher, because I should have two
Okay.
left.
Yes.
I want to buy a snack and a drink.
Awesome. Yeah. So yeah.
Or is it-
You, s- you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
buy
yeah.
like.
It's in a bundle.
Yeah. It's
It's
a
a
bundle.
bundle?
Yeah. Snacks and
Um,
drinks. Okay.
yes.
So you get 2 snacks and drinks. Great.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Did
Great.
you have fun shopping, Cove? I had fun listening to you shop.
I had a great time shopping, and can I do one spell real quick?
Totally.
Okay, I would like to cast Sending, and I'm gonna send a message back to Sunhome to More Trouble
Okay.
Cool.
that says, "I'm safe, got a book to think about you. I also have something for you when I get back."
Aw. What does so sending is a 2-way thing. So if More Trouble has a response, feel free to RP that as well.
I think that More Trouble would
With
just.
yourself.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
RP
that's
with
how it's gonna go.
yourself.
I
Be
could do
chess
that
with
easily.
yourself.
Flirt with yourself.
Yes, literally. I'm just gonna say that More Trouble would send back, "Glad you're safe. I miss you. See you when you get home."
Aww.
That's sweet.
You.
There we
That's
go.
Sweet.
Cute.
Nice.
I rolled
so
to
you
seduce myself.
So you're munching on it's an axe beak skewer, and you're just nomming on that, and yeah, so you're just munching. Okay, nice.
Cool.
So that was Cove. We'll cut to Juniper. Juniper,
Cool.
you're on the ship.
Yes.
Hardtack
Giselle.
is following closely behind because he is the custodian of Juniper's money.
Oh, that's
true,
right.
true,
That's right.
true,
Yeah.
true, yeah.
Also, don't we have
yeah.
90 as a group? That's what my notes say, but I could be wrong.
Sure, if you need something that's 90 gold, I will pay
No,
for
I
it.
have my own gold. I thought it's like as like a crew. Okay.
All right. So
Um,
Juniper, are you with Giselle or one of the gnomes?
Juniper would like to head for the kitchen if they can determine where that is.
Yes, there is. What's the food larder? Is that the food
Sure.
section of a ship?
Sounds right to me.
Sounds
The
cool.
kitchen wing. Yeah. So you go to the foodstuffs.
Food car.
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool.
There's a whole aisle of foodstuffs, and I'll say the char is with you as well.
No, let me clarify.
Oh,
I want to
without
go to
char?
wherever they're making the cakes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh,
So
interesting.
you go like way off the beaten path, and you go to the other side of the ship, and yeah, you
I'm
see that
definitely
there's a
dragging Chari with me to clarify.
yeah. Chari's like, I thought we were going shopping. What are you doing? And so yeah, you get into the kitchen. You open the door. There's like a bunch of gnomes on these little step stools making all of these different foods. They're putting flour together. There's one gnome that seems to be overseeing it, and he has this like slicked back like ice blonde hair and these piercing blue eyes, and he has a little goatee. And he's like, "Oh, that's a great bake." And he looks up at you and he's like, "Hello there."
Hi, I'm here to learn how to make a cake.
Well, so yeah, he says, "Well, you've come to the right place. My name is Polinius Halaninius Bud, and I'm here to teach you how to cake. Then, is that will you be paying for a class or?"
I knew it.
Hardtack pop
at
in
this
and just say,
point-
Yeah,
sorry, what was your name again?
Polinius Halaninius Bus.
At this point, also at the will you be paying for a class? Juniper's gonna look at Hardtack and just say, "Yep, yeah."
Polinius Harlinius, what is the price of this class?
5 gold. 5 gold for an hour.
An hour. All right. Yeah. And he just kind of takes 5 and kind of chucks them over. He's thrown a lot of money in his day, so they all stay together and land just in a very satisfying, like.
Yeah. Nice. That's great. Yeah.
Juniper
so it
doesn't
lands.
notice that part of the exchange and is just looking at all of the cake making.
That's amazing. So Juniper, there is an elderly gnome female
Perfect.
that she sees you, and she's on a little gnome stool, but there's like a big person stool next to it, and she kind of like pat for you to sit down next to her, and she says, "So what we're looking for is some lovely layers, and we're gonna make a sponge cake today, and we're gonna have you." And she begins to in her tiny hands, she takes her hands and she begins to she puts them in flour, and she's like, "Oh, actually, no, you got to clean them first." And she snaps her fingers and casts prestidigitation on your hands, and your hands just become clean.
No.
And she puts her hands in the flour. She's like, "You need to make sure that the sponge isn't too soggy. We don't want a soggy bottom." And you begin to learn how to cook. Chari is just like in the background, and he's just like, I thought we were gonna go shopping. He's like, "Do I have to be here for this? Hardtack, are you gonna be here for this? Because I gotta stick with one of you." And if I can, are we out? Are we outie?
Juniper, do you feel comfortable, safe? You good here? If we go shopping?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay.
Juniper mostly didn't hear that.
Yeah, Juniper's like, "Okay," and you're just continuing to go. That's amazing. So Hardtack, you and Share leave. Juniper, you learn from Polinius Halaninius and this other gnome, whose name is Mariah Barely.
I thought you were about to say Mariah Berry. And I was like,
Berry.
yes.
Can we just make it?
It might be Mariah Berry.
Yeah, okay.
It's Mariah Berry.
Okay.
Mariah Berry and Polinius, they teach you how to make a really good sponge cake, and we go through this montage of there's flour everywhere, and Juniper just kind of looks around, and then there's a whole other thing where there's butter, churning butter, and getting the frosting just right. And by the end of it, there's this really nice looking multi-layered sponge cake that Juniper, what does it look like? What is it in the shape of? This is the Great British Bake Off style presentation. What is your lovely bake?
Totally. It's inspired by the ocean, which is where we are, right? If you forgot, in case anyone forgot.
Right.
Lovely, just lovely.
It's blue, but only a casually blue, a little blue, slightly blue, and in the shape of a wave.
Oh,
somehow.
So you
I don't know how much you can do with sponge cake, but
you can do a lot with I've seen a lot of Great British Bake Off.
I love Great British Bake Off.
Yeah.
Are we talking fondant here? You used fondant to make the wave, or is the sponge
There's
cake
another
itself?
gnome that's as you're making the cake, this other gnome walks up and she's like, "Today, Juniper will be making a wave cake with a chocolate ganache." And she just walks away.
That was such a good fucking. Oh my god.
You.
Okay.
So
You've watched a lot of Great British Bake
I've watched a lot of Great British Bake Off.
Wait, give us your best Paul Hollywood.
So,
Hi, Paul
so-
Hollywood.
Hi, Polly.
Polinius walks over and he's like, "Oh, that's a lovely bake right there." Oh. And he says, he takes a fork and he cuts into it and he's like, could really what's that, cardamom? That's great bake. That's lovely bake.
Hi, Paul
And he,
Hollywood.
starts cutting it up. And Mariah Berry, she says, "Oh, just look at the layers. We see the chocolate doesn't overpower the sponge." And you end up
Hi, Paul.
Oh my god.
Incredible.
Tyler,
Oh,
why are you
shit.
so good at everything you do?
So Juniper, you learn how to make a cake. I'm gonna give you proficiency with a skill. I don't know what skill that is yet.
Nice.
Cool.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna look at your. I'm gonna look at this.
You realize that you've just made it so that in the finale to end all finales, there's gonna have to be some kind of baking element that Juniper just absolutely fucking nails to like save the world.
So Juniper, I'm gonna give you proficiency. I'm gonna give you proficiency with a baker's kit, baker's supplies.
Cool.
Okay.
So yeah, you are now proficient with, and I'm gonna give you cook's tools. At the end of the lesson, at the end of the hour, Polinius, he takes out a what looks like a big pot, and he puts it in front of you, and you open the lid, and in the pot there are a bunch of different like baking supplies, and there's like a little apron that's folded up, and he snaps his fingers, and embroidered it says Juniper, and he's like, "You earned this. Bloody good job. Bloody good bake." And he slides it up to you. Nice. All right, good job, Juniper.
Can I
All
take
right,
that
so
class
we'll-
IRL?
Question. At the
Yes.
end of all of this, can I have like a quick little convo interview with my wonderful baking friends?
Of course.
I have a couple of
course,
questions.
of
Okay.
course.
One, want to say thanks. Oh, basically, I want to eat my cake and talk with them a little bit. Is that cool?
Yeah. So the three of you are just eating the cake.
Yeah, it's like behind the
And you're-
scenes. Like this is
Yeah,
the part
yeah.
that you don't see.
Yeah,
on-
this
right,
is
there's no
like
cameras.
Polinius. He lights up a cigarette. He's just like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
totally.
All right.
I'm
yeah.
making my cake into a whole entire mess while I eat it. Anyways,
Smash cake.
yeah. I want to ask, basically, I want to say how much I've really enjoyed like learning to cook and how cool it is. Want to try to like bond on that, and then ask the information that I'm after. And my brain is tired today, so I need help like formulating good questions. But the information
Okay.
I'm after is like, can I use cooking to like do cool or weird stuff? Like, can I cook
Yes.
to like make someone like,
Awesome.
like heal or hurt or
So-
that kind of stuff?
Oh my
And, like,
god.
how do I learn
Wait,
that?
are you literally like the Weasley
So-
brothers with like the candies and shit? Like that's so
Could
smart.
be. I could
Once
be.
a day.
I just want to know, how do you learn more about that?
So once a day, when you prepare a meal for up to 5 people, you can give them 10 temporary hit points that last 24 hours.
Cool. Wow.
Like even if you get damage? I'm confused.
So what temporary hit points are?
Uh-huh.
Temporary hit points are like a buffer. It's
Okay.
there's a separate section in your character sheet. They're underneath your regular hit points. And basically what
Oh.
happens is when you take damage, it goes to the temporary first, and then it goes to your regular.
Okay, so like
Um,
like blue hearts or whatever, like extra.
Yeah, it's like buffer. You get 10 buffer hit points.
Love it.
They don't stack, so if there's another effect that gives you temporary hit points, you take whichever total's higher. So if you have 10, you have something that says you get 5 temporary hit points. You don't get 15. You either pick 5 or you stick with the 10. So that's nice. We'll go to Raven. Raven next. So Raven, what are you looking for? What are you looking to get? Giselle she walks back from the cake day, and she says, "Oh, hello, a fellow human. Been a while since I've seen another human before." That wasn't grammatically correct.
Is she? I'm sorry,
what's-
she's a human?
Yeah, she's a human. Yeah.
Okay, all
Hello,
right.
fellow
Yeah, she's like,
youth.
I'm 74 years old.
You look great.
Thank you.
Great.
Thanks.
Tyler, can you tell me a little bit about some of the things that are that are not as you know,
What's on the
you
menu?
see it, you know what it is? Those
I
eyes,
I
those
really
eyes.
want to know what a fold-a-boat and a Fletcher's mitt are.
So I'll say that so the Blanket of Starlight,
Okay.
which is probably something that I should have said before.
Wait,
Hey, I bought
Blanket-
that.
Kenny bought
Yeah.
this already. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Blanket of Starlight is once per long rest, it can emit a soft glow maintained by concentration. It says, and this is on like a little footnote, the blanket was crafted by an enchanter after his young son was afraid of the dark. So
I got a nightlight.
yeah, you have a
Literally
nightlight
got a
blanket.
cute
Yeah.
nightlight blanket. What the heck?
The ring of super hugs.
Okay.
Once per long rest, you can hug someone and give them a single hit point.
Yay!
It's that thing that you sent to me.
Yay!
Yeah, that's good.
That's
Um,
so
Gonna
give
fucking
somebody a hug.
cute.
Yeah. So
Is there anything on this list that I talked to you about specifically?
yes, there is.
Oh, great.
Yes,
Can you
there
point me in that direction,
is.
please?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
What
cheating.
did you end up naming it, Tyler?
You're fine. So there are actually a bunch of Duskwing runes.
Mhm.
Are what you're looking for.
Oh,
What
sick.
Duskwing runes are is you etch them onto all right. Duskwing runes, it's ink. It's a bottle of ink, and it says Duskwing runes on it. And you point to it, and Giselle says, "Well, if you got a pain tolerance, then we can certainly do that free of charge. It comes with the purchase. You see, it's a tattoo. We use the ink. It's magic ink. We tattoo it. It's a little pair of wings. And what you do is, every 3 times a day, you get to leap really far. The wings, they give you a little fly speed, and you get to fly, just a little bit. 3 times a day.
Tyler, did Ariel and I reach out to you about spell tattoos?
No.
I did not specify spell tattoo.
Because you said you said you were pointing her in the direction of the thing she asked about, and then
Might
said
have just been the
that.
flying part,
Yeah,
bestie.
well,
The flying
so,
part.
Yeah, no, Ariel requested something to help with speed. And
Hi.
so, and I was like, what's good
Okay.
with speed? Flight.
Hell yeah.
so,
That's
yeah.
so fucking rad. I looked this
Yeah.
up. Like you can get non-magical people
There's pretty cool spell
can
tattoos.
get tattoos to do a spell.
And Raven, as you're looking at, as Giselle's describing that, Mel looks at you, Raven. She's like, "Oh, hey, I got some of those."
What? What does
She's
Mel
like, yeah.
have?
She's like, "That's what you ever notice where my wings?" Diedrich, are you here?
Sorry,
Where
no,
are
you're,
you?
I'm sorry.
Get shitted on.
So Mel, she's like, "Oh yeah, I got those. Those are pretty cool, Raven. And the coolest thing about them is they're personalized for each person. So mine are like electric and sparkly and metallic and stuff. She's like, yours might be something totally different. Anyway, I'm gonna keep shopping now." And she walks away. So Giselle,
Wasn't she with me?
she says, no, Corey was with you. Giselle says to you, Raven, she says, "Well, if this is what you want, we can certainly tattoo them onto you, if that's what you want."
I would very much like that.
Hell
please.
fucking
All right.
yes.
So she gives you the bottle. She says, that'll be 200 gold, please.
Here you go.
Thank you. And she takes the gold, she throws it up in the air, and she takes her cane and she pokes the pouch and it vanishes. And
Cute.
she says, "Yeah, that's a trick I do. I know magic." And she says, "If you go down to the bottom, go down to down one floor, one of the gnomes, you'll know him when you see him. We'll tattoo the ink." And she gives you the
Hell
ink.
yeah.
You go downstairs, there's a gnome who is like the biggest gnome you've ever seen, which is to say he's only like this big. But
He's
he's got a big bushy beard, big mustache. He's got like 2 wooden teeth, 2 copper teeth, 2 silver teeth, and he's got like 6 earrings in each ear. He's got a big like red bandana with white embroidery on it. He's got an eye patch that he lifts it when you come up, and you see that one of his eyes is magical. And he's got these giant arms. He's covered in tattoos. And he's like, yeah, all right, brother. He's like, you here for a tattoo?
Oh,
Sorry, is this no Hulk
brother.
Hogan?
Yeah, literally.
He's like, yeah, you want me to stitch some, you want that? Is that what you're here for? Yeah.
Hell yeah,
right.
brother.
Hell yeah.
Hilgen.
Hell kill me.
Yeah. My name is Higgledy Piggledy Higgins. And
does he have a nickname? Just wondering.
they just call me Higgs. But
Higgs.
yeah, so yeah, you can call me Higgs though, brother. Yeah. And he pats a chair, and he says, yeah, where do you want? Oh, Duskwing runes. Yeah, that's good shit there. Where do you want these? On an arm?
Allowed to get them on my back? Like,
yeah,
on, like,
you
shoulder
can get them
blades?
on your back if you want, on your shoulder blades, brother. We can do wherever.
Brother.
I had a guy once that got him on his ankles, sprout little wings from his feet, like a cherub or something.
Ah.
But yeah, we can get him on your back. And so yeah, you get one on each shoulder blade, and it takes the better part of the hour.
Do you say that they, like, can look different per person?
Yes, yeah. The wings manifest differently depending on who has them.
Okay.
So cool.
And,
What do
like,
ravens
you'll
look like?
Do that?
So,
Or do you-
This
It's
raven
up to
gets a
you.
pick? Yeah!
What-
What
yeah,
do they look like,
pick-
raven?
well, yeah. So he all right. So he finishes up. He like wipes away, some of the blood and like some of the excess ink, and he's just like he's like just drying them, and you button up, and he says, we got some high ceilings here, brother. You want to give him a whirl?
Give them a whirl.
Yeah!
How do I do that, though? Like, how do I...
Well, for everyone, it's different. Sometimes people say a command word. Sometimes people do some weird shit like click their heels 3 times, or I remember one guy had to compliment somebody. That's what he said. He said he was working on his anger, but you can do whatever you like. You can have it's sometimes people just get a feeling. It's whatever you want.
Happy
brother.
thoughts! Think happy thoughts!
What are you thinking? It's gonna depend on whatever the first time you use it, that's what it's gonna be. Yeah.
Can Raven, like, whistle? Like, a la, like, bird call, but not a bird call? Like, very just, like a little, like a chirp or something? Like, something, like, audible that she can do, like, quickly,
Kind of thing?
but, like,
Do that again.
not...
Do that again, Tyler.
It's like that kind of thing?
Just, like, a little... Yeah, just, like, a little... Just, like, a...
Yeah.
Something.
Awesome. Yeah, so yeah, you think about it, you do a quick little, quick little whistle, and these wings magically unfurl from your back. What do the wings look like?
So I like the idea of them being black. Are we shocked?
Are we
But
shocked?
I like the think more like less bird-like and more like closer to like the skeletal vibe of like a bat, but the like actual skeletal part I think would look more like tree bark. If that makes sense.
Interesting. Okay.
So like
cool.
black tree,
Bat wings.
like almost think like haunted house,
Yeah.
scary trees.
No, I totally see
but
it.
in wing fashion.
So
Yeah.
like
Does this make
the
sense?
Yeah, I
thin,
do.
thin branches are the bone,
Yes.
and then the rest are with the outline of bat-ish wings. Okay.
I get
cool.
what you're
more
putting down,
similar
Ariel.
to
That's
bat
so
than
cool.
bird,
Right.
but like
yeah.
also like kind of scary bird.
Yes.
Like
Okay,
I'm cool
yeah.
with scary bird energy, but I also just want there to be like bark
Very cool.
involved.
That is so
And black.
rad.
So these wings, they pop out.
Yeah.
They magically appear, and you jump. And as you do, you flap the wings, and you begin to fly. And
That's
you
so
get
cool.
yeah. And so yeah.
Can I
so-
shoot from the air?
Yes. Yeah. So what these wings do is 3 times a day you will gain a fly speed of 60 feet.
Okay.
For I believe for the round.
Okay.
So you will be able to until your next turn, you will be able to fly 60 feet.
Damn.
If you want to persist that, you can expend another charge, and then you can keep going until you run out of charges.
Okay.
So you get that 3 times a day. Write that in. You're good to go.
That is
Great.
so
Awesome.
freaking cool.
I have 150 gold left, and I don't want to take up that much time, but I am
You're fine.
interested in the arrows, but also in like special books, if there might be anything that Raven might be interested in special books.
Yeah. So as far as special books goes, well, so Giselle she says, we have so many arrows, just so many arrows. You come back up, and you say goodbye to Higgs. He's like, yeah, brother, good job, happy flying there. And you walk up the stairs, and Giselle, she says, we have so many arrows, just so many arrows, all kinds of arrows that do fun things, arrows that are good for combat. We've got really just whatever you want. And then as far as the specialty books, these are books that like do things. So like when you read them, you gain like special powers or like forbidden knowledge, secrets, things like that. So if there's something that you want, then we can do that.
Okay.
Or if you want, we could do the grab bag special for these arrows. That's up to you, though.
What's the grab bag special?
The grab bag is you reach into this bag and you take you take some arrows out, and that you get what you get.
Is that priced differently than
Yeah.
normal?
Those are 40 flat, 40 per grab.
Okay. I will do 3 grab bag arrows.
All right, sounds good.
120 gold.
Here you go. All right, roll me D100.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm here. I'm ready. I'm ready to
Totally
party.
good.
D100.
Yes.
And go. Oh, I hit it.
40.
Okay.
All right, what do you get on a 40? Oh, that's so fucking cool! All right.
You want me to do it 3 times, right?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I just
So-
was clarifying before I clicked anything else.
Totally fine. So on a 40, you pull out an arrow.
Mm-hmm.
The arrow, the wood is normal, the feather's normal. The arrowhead seems to be made of foggy glass. And she says, oh, that there is a scrying arrow. That's a pretty good one. It takes a little moment to prep it, but when you look into the glass, your non-dominant eye is going to lose sight for a second, but it reforms in the glass. So you'll be able to see from the arrow. It lasts for a minute, and then the arrow can be shot. I'll note it only looks like glass. It's very durable, and you'll be able to see all kinds of shit when you're looking through it.
So it's like a recon dart.
Arrow.
It certainly can be. That's up to you.
Okay.
She's a spy.
And then the other. So then the next one, it's a pink arrow, and it has on the arrowhead. It looks like a crude etching of a brain. And she says, "Oh, that's a mind spike arrow. That deals psychic damage, and the target has disadvantage on wisdom saves."
Okay.
So that's pretty cool.
This is so rad.
And then 98, So 98, it has it looks like a flexing arm on it, and
my
she says
God.
that's a pulling arrow. It can pull up to 300 pounds of weight that's tied to the arrow for like 100 feet.
That is insane.
Grappling arrow.
Yeah,
I
it's a
would,
grappling
like
arrow,
my
but it can
mind
pull, like, a lot of
immediately
stuff.
jumped to Mortal Kombat, where it's like, get over here, like.
Get over here.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I'm done shopping. Thank you.
Okay,
I'm so
well-
sorry to take up so much of your time.
I
No,
loved
it's no
it.
problem. This is my job. This is what I do, and you just
Oh,
gave
can
me
I
a whole
have-
lot of
I'm so
money.
sorry. Can I also have one souvenir, please?
Of course, you're gonna have a
Just
souvenir.
one.
What are you, kid? Just one souvenir? Do you want
Give me-
snacks?
I would just like one souvenir, please.
Okay, that's fine. You want all right, I'll give you. She goes over to a shelf, and she pulls off what looks like you know the army men that you get at like an arcade. So it's that, except it's like a little crab that's like it's one of its claws is up in the air, and the other one is like giving a thumbs up and it's winking. And when you hold the crab, she's like, tap its shell, and so you tap the shell, and it's like, yar, thanks for shopping at the Seaside Extravaganza, and
Oh my God.
yeah. So that's your shopping trip.
That was so. These are so. I'm so excited for mine. That's so. This is so good.
Well, that's good, Deidre, because you're next.
Oh really?
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Sorry, wait, hold on. Raven, what were you saying?
I was gonna ask if you had a dog tweet.
a dog.
Oh
tweet?
yeah.
I
So yeah,
love
she's
that.
like,
Just like a
yeah.
little dog tweet.
Yeah.
Snacks and drinks. Yeah, we've got doggy snacks and drinks. It's a single
Great, I will
gold.
take one doggy snack, please.
Sounds good. And she gives you. She's like, well, it'll give you more. She gives you like a sack of dog treats. And
Great, thank you so much.
she's like,
I have
oh,
28
good.
gold. I'm going away now. Thank you.
She she takes one from the bag. She's like, is he friendly? Can I do this? Is he gonna eat me? All right. Yeah. She gives one to Lullaby, and Lullaby eats it, and then you. All right. Diedrich, you were next.
Cool. The first
So you're
thing-
eating
okay.
cake
Yeah.
with
yeah,
Lucky
yeah.
Corey.
Yes.
Um,
I know that Lucky Corey wants to steal things.
Yes.
I want to do some stuff before that goes down. Can I wander away
Okay.
and go back to Giselle?
Yes.
minute? Okay,
Absolutely.
okay.
Yeah.
So I
So
wander
I'll say
away.
that Giselle just sent Raven down the stairs.
Okay.
And she turns around. She's like, "Oh, hey there. Hey, little tiefling man.
Hey! I have a question.
Okay. All right.
Diedrich pulls out, and I don't know if you remember this because it's literally from season 1, his winged
Probably do.
fae encased in amber. And he
Yes.
hands it to Giselle and asks, like, have you ever seen anything like this before? You seem to be well-traveled and know a lot of random stuff. Do you know what
I
this
am,
is?
and I do. Yes. So she looks at the little thing. She's like, "Oh my God, where did you get this?
I don't even remember at this point. Diedrich shrugs.
Wow, must have been a long time ago. Yeah, you. This is a fae trapped in amber.
Okay, but how do you get? How does that happen? How does that happen to a fae?
Many different ways. It depends on who did it, I guess. If one of its kind did it, then, well, if the Fae are beyond, I don't understand them. I'm just a human, and I'm 74 years old.
The number
I don't
keeps
really
changing.
understand Fae stuff. But if a human did it, it was probably because they wanted to, have its power. And like to kind of, or maybe like keep it hostage or something. I don't know. We could ask it. Do you want me to free it? Is that what you want?
No. Wait, do you know how though?
Yeah, of course. It's a simple remove curse.
Interesting. Okay, you
Of course,
don't have
that costs money, of course. But
to.
yeah.
No, you don't have to do that right now. And
Okay, I'll give it back.
thank you. Can I tell me about Hardtech? I really want to buy the edible hat for Swablin, but if you were already going to do that or had that in mind, okay. Diedrich wants to buy the edible hat, and can you tell me a little bit more about it?
So she says, "Oh, the edible hat? That's a good one." So she says, "So this hat." So she picks it up. She's like, "This hat, it's made up of edible fibers. you can eat the hat, and if you say something like, well, if I'm wrong, I'll eat my hat, and then you eat the hat, and you get to you can charm. You get really good charming stuff from it.
Like I become really charming?
Yeah, you become really charming, or you become really trustworthy, is what I'm saying. Because then the hat magically makes people believe that you'll eat your hat. So
okay, all right.
you become very trustworthy for the next hour.
Right. Okay. Okay, yeah, I would like the edible hat, please. I also would like the bag of tricks. Just something I reached out to Tyler about. I'm very excited.
I just got hot chocolate.
Hell yeah! Hi,
yeah.
Sarah. Chat, say hi to Sarah. Everyone say
Oh,
hi.
in your big
got
dice energy mug. Nice. Yeah.
I've got salted
Got
caramel
BDE.
marshmallows in this.
Oh god, that's so fire.
Yeah.
Side note, my
So,
mom called me today and told me about how she made homemade marshmallows, and she was very excited about it.
Bring them.
Okay.
So she says, "Oh yeah, the bag of tricks. Now, bag of tricks. You got a little bag, the little fuzzy balls in it." And she pulls out a little fuzzy ball. She's like, "You can throw it on the ground. It turns into an animal
Do I know
for a
which
little
animal?
bit. That's the fun part.
Okay, so it's literally just like you pull out one of the colored balls of fur and throw it on the ground, and it just turns into whatever animal.
Yep, you can only do it a couple times a day, but it's a neat little trick. I should say though that the animal doesn't obey you necessarily.
Right, no.
You just summon an animal.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Okay.
I would
buyer beware.
Okay, I want the edible hat, the bag of tricks. I have so much left. I want God, I have so much. Where did I get all this gold? What is the orrery of planes?
Oh, that's a neat little thing. So she pulls out what looks like oh god. So it looks like a small brass claw, and there's a gemstone inserted at the top. And she holds the claw up, and she taps it, and it looks like a hologram is projected onto the ceiling or onto the nearest flat surface. And it looks like, at first, there's fire everywhere being projected. It's swirling around, and you squint through the image, and you see that there's a humanoid figure just walking around. She taps it again, and it looks like there's solid stone, and something's moving through it. She taps it again. It looks like open sky, and there are things flying around. She says, "This here, it shows you what's going on the other planes."
Oh my god, that's so
More
cool.
specifically, the elemental planes. I don't really mess with this kind of thing. I looked too hard once, and it messed me up.
I'm just a human. Okay, cool. That's amazing. I also really want to know what the Pearl of Power is.
Pearl of Power. It helps you regain spells when you're out of spells.
Okay, I don't have spells. What is the arcane?
Oh, okay.
What is the arcane trickster glove?
So if you can cast Mage Hand, it makes your Mage Hand invisible.
That's fucking rad.
It's pretty great.
Okay, I think I just want the edible hat, the bag of tricks. Oh, I want a special book. What is the market price?
Special book?
Yeah, what is market price?
Well, it depends on the book. We have books where you can learn how to create things. You have books where you can learn how to access other portals to other dimensions. We have books that can increase your natural abilities to do certain things.
I honestly
Any of those interest you? They're very expensive.
How expensive is very expensive?
The cheapest one's 500 gold pieces, I think.
Shit, I only have 200.
Well, do you like potions? We got
Yeah.
potions.
I do like potions.
I like potions.
Okay, yeah. What's give me a second circle potion.
Oh boy, do you wanna grab bag it, or do you want to like pick it?
You know what, Tyler? I want to grab bag it.
Let's do it. Roll me
All right.
D100.
Okay. Tobio is attacking.
88. What happens with an 88?
Nice.
Oh, that's cool. All right, so with an 88, you. This is actually very strange that it's very on brand. You pull out this potion, and it looks empty. It looks like an empty bottle. But when you shake it, you feel the feeling of liquid moving around. And she says, "Oh, that's good. You just got an invisibility potion."
No fucking way.
Oh God.
It's literally perfect for Rogue. I'm so happy.
Yeah, and this is actually perfect.
Diedrich has like anime fucking sparkle eyes looking at this bottle right now.
Like the light coming from behind the glasses.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's basically you. When you drink this potion, you cast invisibility on yourself. Lasts an hour. Anything that you're wearing or carrying is also invisible. The effect ends when you attack or cast a spell.
Okay.
Or do like when you do something that heavily interacts with something.
Got
With
it.
somebody. Yeah. Nice.
I have 55 left, so I would really like a souvenir for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I want a souvenir. I want, I think a mundane book. Can I have the big picture book of Demon Princes, please?
Absolutely. By Skaus Zaumbrakus.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is it literally pictures of hot demon princes?
They're not hot, but yes.
They are. I mean,
A
they're
picture
hot.
book sounds like it's for
Hot
kids.
is relative.
They're hot.
One
though.
of them is hot. One of them is incredibly hot.
Oh, I am thirsting over that one for sure.
And then the other ones are just like blobs and like giant like monsters and stuff.
That could be hot to some.
That's true.
That's true.
Diedrich will decide if they are hot.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll say that like you're thumbing through the book
Uh-huh.
and like you come across one. It looks like it's this lady that's made entirely out of funguses and mushrooms. You turn another page and there's one of like this absurdly hot demon, and he's just like sitting in a chair with his legs splayed open, and he's got 6 fingers on each hand, and he's got like this messy like hair that's kind of like falling in soft curls.
Yeah.
He's got a giant longsword strapped to his back, and he's just kind of like looking up, and he's like slightly biting his lip with sharp teeth. And so, and then you turn another page, and there's just a blob, like just an ooze with many eyes, and it's just like, yeah.
Diedrich
But,
thinks
yeah, so
that
you-
one's hot. Diedrich thinks that one's hot. The blob.
Yeah, she's like, oh yeah, you got a thing for Jubilex? That's pretty good.
Okay, all right. Yes, that is the end of mine. Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
I
All
have
right, and hardtack. Are you with anybody right now?
I don't think I am. No.
Okay.
Well, Chari was following me around. I don't know if Chari.
Yeah, okay,
Oh,
I'll see.
can I
So-
RP with Chari before we leave the ship? But after this, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll definitely get there. So hardtack. Chari's with you right now. He's like, don't worry about me. I'm just gonna look at the spices.
All right. Go enjoy your spices.
Yeah, I will.
And I think Hardtack like walks around a little bit, and at some point he's just like sitting and staring at something for like a good 5 minutes, like not noticing anybody around. He's eyeing that pearl. He do be eyeing that pearl,
He do be eyeing that pearl though.
and he doesn't know why.
Yeah.
It's just like he's looking at it, and it's just kind of entrancing him.
Yeah.
I
okay.
think until Giselle walks up.
Yeah, Giselle walks up. She's like, oh, hey there, young man. Fancy that pearl of power?
I think so. What does it do?
Well, so it's good for if you're a spellcaster. I don't mean to presume, but you look very magic-y. And if you run out of spells, you get to you pop the pearl. You don't pop it, you just hold it, and you get one back.
Oh. So
Not
it happens
You pass
every.
that around?
I think it's once per.
It just happens once a day.
Okay.
Ugh.
Well, that's.
Maybe you poop it
and
out and then have to clean it and then use
You
it
don't have
again?
to eat it.
He said
you
pop.
just-
I thought you were like pop it in your mouth. Okay, sorry. I'm wrong.
Pop.
Like pop, like a pimple.
It's just a pearl. You just have it, and then he's like, "Hey, I want to use you," and then you go, boom, and then you get power, right?
Got it.
That's kind of how it works, yeah. But you
Perfect.
don't have to say anything. You just like hold it.
You have to
and
say
you
something.
Get your spell back. All right, well, if you want, you can say something. It's not mandatory. But,
I think I might.
You know,
I think I might want to say pop, actually.
Yeah.
okay, you say pop, and you get a spell back.
Wonderful.
There you go.
So I might have something to trade, and he pulls out the axe that he picked up in the bag.
Nice,
that he
nice.
has
nice,
no
nice.
knowledge about. Like he's
Yeah.
just like, do you happen to know what this might be? He's just holding it out.
So she holds the axe, she holds her cane, and she taps it, and she seems to cast a spell that identifies what the item is, and she says, "Oh my God, where'd you get this? This is a very very nice axe here. It got a lot of magic on this axe."
What kind of magic?
Well, so this axe, it can go through things.
Ah. So, what does that mean? Like if
Like
I were to
like
throw
a
it.
ghost axe, almost.
Oh. But if it hits somebody, can you choose what it goes through, or is
Well,
it?
it goes through armor, you see. This axe ignores armor.
Ah. Does it
but-
ignore like walls or just armor?
No, just armor.
Oh, okay.
It's good.
I was-
It's basically like you gotta be dexterous enough to dodge it. But if you're not, if you're just like, for example, if you're in like full plate armor and you throw this axe at somebody, it'll probably hit him.
Oh, okay.
Unless you really donk it up and you just like throw it off to the side.
Yeah. And then you have to like get it back though, right? It doesn't.
Oh yeah, then you gotta get it back. I mean, of course, like you don't have to throw it. You could just like use it as an axe
Slash
and
with it.
like
Right.
attack people. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then he. I know. I'm just hoping I can chuck it. It's like, okay, that might be useful. What about this? And he pulls out the fire and ice sword that we already know of. It's like, what might this be valued at in your eyes?
She said, "Well, that axe. I mean, I'd pay handsomely for this."
How much for the axe would you pay?
She said, "How about for the axe? I mean, the axe. I'd give you like 300 for that."
Oh, okay, 300 for that. What about the dual sword?
She
He
says,
pulls it
"The
out
dual
real quick.
sword. Yeah, I can give you like 300 for that as well. Having a sword that does two different things, it's pretty nice."
Okay. Well, if you were to value one over the other, I know you said they're both 300, but which do you think I should? You're very wise, I assume. What do you
Oh,
think?
I'm so wise. I've been around for 74 years at least.
I understand that. And he just kind of like cracks a smile.
Oh, all right. All right.
Which one do you think I should keep versus?
Well, how strong are you?
I'm not.
Neither of them. Get rid of them. You don't want any of that.
Okay. That would be great. I'll give you both for this pearl and he kind of looks over and he sees he sees a sign that says fold a boat. And what does that do?
So
I like boats.
the
captain, you
sign.
see.
So the sign is above what looks like a little folded piece of paper, and so she says, "Why don't I show you?" And so she takes the piece of paper. She's like, "Follow me!" And she starts, walking down the stairs where there's a lot more room. And she says, "You might want to stand back." And she like she flips the piece of paper out, and it just unfolds into a boat. And she says, "The name says it all, but I'm a showman, you see. So."
Wow. That's and is that the only size, or does it come in other sizes? Or
No, this is about it. It's a one size fits all, as they say. It'll fit a lot of people. It'll fit like 10 people in that boat.
oh wow, that's a great boat. Okay, well, how about
It's a great boat.
How about I trade these 2 weapons, which I have no business using or having, for that pearl and this fold boat.
That sounds good. I'll throw in a souvenir for free.
Oh, wonderful. And
Sounds good.
so he just trades, and then I think the pearl's going to be on a necklace, so he's like he's got the pearl on the necklace, and then he just kind of slides the fold-a-boat paper into his pocket, and
Nice.
also turns and asks, like, so do you just throw it and it turns into a boat, and then how do you...
Yeah, you throw it and it turns into a boat.
And trick to get it to be paper again?
So she walks up. You notice that, so the boat, it at the very head of the boat is a swan head, and she takes the swan head and she just pulls it backward, and then it just folds back into the boat.
Perfect.
She says,
Wonderful.
pretty simple, hands-on. And she you walk back upstairs, you give her the gold, she gives you the items, and as she's looking at the shelf of souvenirs, you notice one of them that says it's a hat that says "Proud Dad," and she's just like kind of scanning, and she reaches for what looks like a closed clamshell, and she says, "How about this one?"
I actually think I have another. What about that hat up there?
That hat? Well, it's kind of out of place if you're not a dad, but okay. And she takes the hat, she gives it to you, and she's like, "All right, there you go. Have a nice one."
And he kind of peruses through some more of the stuff, and he's like finding a shirt, for Swablin, and I'd like to think he finds, like, in the child section,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it just says, like, world's best swabby, and he just pulls that up. He's like, all right, perfect, and he puts that on his shoulder, and then he's looking around, and he's like, like, he finds another shirt more in the adult section that says, hold on. It's one of those, like, you're because I have the Proud Dad hat,
Yes.
and then he finds a shirt that says, like, daughter of a proud pirate or something, and, like,
Nice.
picks that off.
Yeah.
the shelf.
Nice.
And
So
then
yes,
so I've got,
So
like,
that's
this
another
hat and,
gold
like, 2
piece.
shirts. Yeah.
for the clothing, it's another gold piece.
Right.
But yeah. So she says, "Oh well, that's always good."
Yeah.
And at that point, yeah, good.
Yeah, I'm actually I just found out I'm a dad, so, you know,
Ah,
it's
at
exciting.
your age?
Well, sure.
All right, college is gonna get weird.
Yeah,
she,
it might.
So she.
He also grabbed snacks for his father.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you grab the snack and drink combo,
Yeah.
and so the 5 of you finish shopping roughly at the same time, or baking class, and you notice that the Unpleasants have all been shopping. Lysander has a gift wrapped and tucked under his arm. Harkin has bought new robes and ink, quills, new things, new pages for his spellbook. He's kind of fixed it up a bit. Mel has completely clean armor, and she looks like she kind of like steps out onto the deck, and there's like this whoosh, like as the light shines on her armor. She's got like decked out stuff. Kragan McCracken has a full supply of dwarven fire salt, and he's got like he's got a new, like, the second Bible of Moradin and a bunch of other things. Lucky Corey has been apprehended by one of the gnomes
I fucking knew
for
it.
trying to steal.
I fucking-
And she's been kicked off the boat.
That was
That's
almost
everybody.
me.
Yeah. Oh, Mikhail. Mikhail has bought a whole bunch of artifice supplies. She says, I can make a lot of stuff out of this. This is going to be really, really cool. She says, have any of you seen the newest crew member?
Cove?
No. And
Oh.
stomping out from beneath deck is Linnea, and she has purchased quite a few things as well. Looks like weapons. She's got like a barrel of some alcohol over one shoulder,
Oh my god.
and she says, "Cheers, Giselle." And Giselle says, "Linnea." And
Oh my god.
they you
Linnea's
all
her mom.
do work.
or Giselle's Linnea's mom.
So you all
Were you here last episode?
Did you pay
or-
attention to the lore?
we had a whole
I know.
I almost
cut
cried,
scenes-
you goober.
cutscenes that
I
wrote.
know. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
So
Unbelievable.
you get off of the ship. Giselle, the gangplank raises up, and you see, like, leaning against the rail is Giselle, Paulinius, Holininius Bus, I forget his name, Mariah Berry, Higgs is there, and Tully Mully. They're all leaning against, they're just waving. And Giselle says, "Now, just remember, next time," as the boat's pulling away and her voice is getting softer, she says, "Next time you feel like shopping, come to the Seaside Extravaganza." We open up. I don't need this other computer anymore because we're done shopping. So we open up on the open sea. Raven,
Yeah.
you are the navigator.
Great.
Which way are we going?
East.
East?
West.
East or northeast or south? Well, you just came from southeast.
Yeah.
East.
Yeah.
East?
East. East
One-
is an EAST.
I thought you said Weast.
Well, I did afterwards because I was making a funny, but
That was good. That was very
thank you.
funny. So you go east.
hmm
We have a special event that happens.
Oh god.
shit.
Fun.
This one.
More special than the extravaganza.
More, well, let's not get carried away. But,
She was pretty special.
Yeah, she was pretty special.
I miss her already.
Yeah,
Me too, honestly.
Bye, Granny.
yeah. Yeah. So we see a ship. You're Raven, you see a ship in the distance.
Uh-huh.
This ship, it looks almost ghostly. It's glowing, and it approaches. It's got as you spy it, you see that a little white flag is raised.
Uh-huh.
The ship pulls up, and are you alerting anyone about what's going on?
Yeah, can I alert hardtack
Yeah, you call down.
as the, expert on pirating?
Yeah. Hardtack, you recognize this ship immediately. This is the ship of Cornelius Evenkeel.
And with many
Mm-mm-mm.
rings.
Yeah, the man with many rings. The ship pulls up beside you, and Cornelius is standing on the railing with his arms folded. His cat familiar is standing on his shoulder. And he hails you. And he says, "May I come aboard?"
You may, as long as you have no ill will.
course not. And he vanishes. You see like there's sea foam and bubbles where he was standing, and he reappears right in front of you in a puff of a blast of seawater. And he says, "Hardtack."
Even kill.
He looks around at the crew that are now on the deck, looking at even keel, with his cat, basically where Kenny's cat is right now.
Thought I'd...
Oh, maybe not.
I'd say Squiffy is also just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, your familiars eye each other warily, but
They're like head
they
to
seem
head.
to be. Yeah. Cornelius, he says, "This your crew, Hardtack?"
This is. I can
All
tell.
right.
I can tell we've both come a long way since we met in that tavern in Starhome.
He says, to be honest, I haven't really come that far.
Oh,
away.
no?
No, I've been around. If I'm being honest, I've been around for hundreds of years. I haven't really changed much, but that's me own prerogative, Hardtack. I enjoy being who I am, a man of the sea, and the sea's ever changing. I don't need to be. And he says, I've actually been tracking you down. You and your ship, the Freedom's Fury.
Yes.
I'm sure that ye have gotten the same call that I have and all the others in the press gang. And he's speaking loud enough that you all can hear him. I think he's talking to all of you. He says, I suspect, because we don't really know why we're supposed to find this temple now of all times, but I suspect there's something big afoot. And it's causing the behemoth to... I don't know if panic is the right word, but something big is coming, and Behemoth wants to stay on top of it, I assume. I suspect, as well, that I might know where this island is, or where the temple is. I believe it's on an island. Or perhaps beneath an island. And, I'm gonna be honest with you. I believe I'm the oldest member of the press gang. I have no aspirations of glory or worthy or reward or anything like that. The sea is my reward. I enjoy where I am, and I don't mean to be changing that. But I was visited recently by one Admiral Rose. And he did be threatening me quite a bit.
Damn.
If I didn't share what information I had, and I'm not a fighter. I'm an
You're a
old
lover.
sea dog. No, nor am I a lover. Well, me first love be the sea, of course. But I do not. I am not a lover.
That was
Either.
really cute.
A pirate's mistress really do be the sea, don't it?
Aye! And he like shouts across the boat, and like his crew is all just like, ah! And he says, the thing is, I'm rather fond of ye and your unusual crew. And he takes
They're
a look
great,
around.
aren't they?
What did you call
He's
me? Deirdre yells from behind
Yes.
the boat.
He says, I think you're odd, boy.
I'm Deirdre the Odd. How did
He says,
you
that's a
know?
strange name to give yourself, but fine.
The streets
He
gave
said-
it to me.
He says,
Yeah.
all right.
Cornelius, he's come a long way. Don't be too rough on the boy.
Thank you.
aye.
And then he
Is
falls.
this your
Shut up,
He
ward?
trips and falls right when he
Is,
said
he,
that.
is that your kid, Hardtack?
No.
He
Just
wishes.
a very, very aspirational boy.
Aye. Well, that's fine. He says, I have never seen a crew like yours. I've never seen a crew like this. So many, first of all, and he looks at Raven, he's like, inexperienced upon the sea. And he looks
struggling
at... Yeah, like Raven, who's just like...
We are really odd, honestly. It's very good.
He says, "Aye," and he says, and he looks at Cove. He's like, "Aye, a water genasi. You know, me first wife was a water genasi." And he like kind of looks off.
Her
and
name
this
was
is like,
This is so
He's like-
awkward.
old Marina. And,
Can I respond to that by
Yeah.
creating water and then turning it into ice in the shape of a sphere?
Yes, yeah, that
And
happens.
I just say, please don't threaten me.
He's like, threatening? I don't threaten you. I like water genasi. He says, you, besides your captain, I think you might be the only, the most qualified as a crewman on the ship.
Thank you.
I assume
appreciate
you know
that.
your way around the water.
Well, I can breathe in water, so
That's great.
me and the sea could be one.
I do love the sea. And he like turns out to look out to into the distance for a second, and he seems to come back to himself. He says, "Aye, well, my point is, we don't have much time. I'd like to guide you to this island, Hardtack, and crew. Freedom's Fury. I'm going to address all of you as Freedom's Fury. I'd like to address.
Freedom
No,
Fury.
I'd like to guide ye to this island, in the hopes that you get there before Admiral Rose and his crew, the 5 Corsairs.
Four.
Which reminds
Oh,
me,
3.
there be a group called the 5 Corsairs.
Wait.
They're
Cornelius, I have to share. There's now 4 Corsairs. Dustar was killed. I don't think he was
Aye.
replaced. Was he replaced? I don't know.
I don't know how. Oh, some beastie of the sea must have claimed him as his own.
No, it was us. Yeah, we killed him.
Excuse me. It was
Yeah.
all of you. You killed
All of us. Yeah, he tried
He
to attack
killed-
us.
Captain
Yeah,
Duststar of the 5 Corsairs.
Absolutely. They were just singing the whole time, and they were distracted, and we killed them.
Stars and stones, boy.
Yeah. And then if you look back, and he kind of like points back to the sloop that's just being towed by our boat. He's like, that's Linnea the Tempest, one of the 5 Corsairs.
So he like squints, and he leans over the railing, and you hear from like way back, you're like, "Oi, even keel! Good day!" And he's like, "Shite." So you mean to tell me? So he kind of like rubs his temples, and he says, "So not only have ye killed one of the 5 Corsairs, I should mention the 5 most feared in the press gang, but one of them is tagging along in a sloop that's been grapnelled to ye ship."
Yeah, and I can do you one better. Hey,
I don't see how you can.
I'll bet
surprise
you
me.
5 gold pieces that you can't guess what I'm about to say next.
I'm not gonna take that bet because ye have already said many. I'll take that bet, and he puts 5 gold pieces on the railing. He's like,
Short-lived.
he says, "All right, we'll resolve Hardtack. You tell me what you're gonna do first, and then I want to see if that boy's gonna eat his bloody hat."
Hardtack kind of leans in to whisper to Evenkeel, like, well, Linnea happens to be my flesh and blood. That's my daughter right there.
Bloody coral and a barnacle, boy! He
Now you understand why I'm so powerful, don't you?
So he says,
I made that.
"It's just you from Linnea the Tempest, spawned from your loins, is what you've been meaning to tell me."
That is what I'm meaning to tell you. Yes, Evenkeel.
Oh, deepest depths of the abyss.
I'm proud, aren't I? Yeah. See, I even got. And he pulls out the hat, and he like somehow manages to just kind of get the hat off of his horns because it hasn't come off for a while, and then he like pokes 2 holes into this proud, what is it, proud pirate papa hat, and
Proud
pulls it
Pirate
down.
Papa.
So he says, "Aye, this be a day. This be a day for old Evenkeel." And he says, I need a stool. I need a chair. I need to sit down.
You're
And,
telling me.
Swablin like pulls a chair over like foot by foot, and he says,
In his
"Oi."
world's best swabby shirt.
Yeah, world's best swabby shirt, and he's like, "Oi, thank you, cabin boy." And Swablin's like, he slowly backs away, saluting. And Cornelius sits down, and he's like, "Oh, all right, now that that's over, I want to see you eat that hat. I'll bet you 5 gold pieces that you can't digest that hat, let alone tear it up in your mouth and eat it."
100 gold pieces.
He takes 9 platinum coins and
I want
stacks
one
them
of
up.
your rings.
He says, "I never bet me rings, boy."
I'll bet your rings I can eat this hat.
He
But I can.
says,
I bet I can sweeten the deal. And he like picks up the hat off of Diedrich's head, and can hardtack cast distort value at 3rd level?
Oh my god.
What are we
I mean,
doing?
We're
You definitely-
we're
you definitely
RPing. Okay.
"Man,
Because I want it to
Yeah.
be 3 feet big. Like it's going to become 3 feet bigger.
like a giant, like a 10-gallon hat."
Yes.
I'm sorry. Did you just make more work for me to eat this right now? Okay.
That's
bet.
fine. Yeah.
But I mean, it's magically edible, right? So
Okay. Yeah.
Diedrich should be able
So
to eat
you-
it.
It's
Well,
true.
so like he sees the hat, and then he sees it like morph into like a 10-gallon hat, and he's like, I don't see what the point of this is. But
I
I
want
feel
one
like
of your rings.
I feel like I'd be getting swindled here.
No, I want one of your rings, and I bet you I can eat my hat to get one of them.
I'd be
just
betting you
wanna-
100 gold pieces.
I just want to see the boy eat that hat now.
I want one of your rings, and then I'll do it.
I shan't be bet. All right, you know what? Fine. But
Yes.
if you don't eat the hat, I get your sword.
Deal.
All right, and he takes his middle finger ring off,
Uh-huh.
and it's got like a little ruby in it, and he flips it up in the air, catches it. There it is.
Diedrich starts to eat his hat, the 3-foot hat.
All right, you eat the hat.
You want me to
Bite,
roll
bite,
for it, bestie? I
Nope,
eat the hat.
that's just how you paid for it. You get to eat it.
I eat
Roll for
that.
choking hazard.
Yeah, right. I eat that fucking hat, Tyler.
You eat that fucking hat, and with every bite, Cornelius just like he's like getting back more and more shocked.
Diedrich is
And,
having a great fucking time. He's like humming a little song. Like, this is the best day.
Great, yeah. You eat your hat,
Yeah.
and Cornelius he says, It's been quite the day for old Cornelius."
We have totally flipped this man's life around.
He's
Yeah.
about to start he's just gonna have a break in reality.
Yeah, no, he starts a cult to worship us, because we're obviously, this cannot possibly be like the real
He
thing.
gives you his ring.
Okay.
And he says, "Ye earned that, boy. I do not envy ye in a few hours."
Diedrich puts it in his
And
mouth.
Why did you put it in your mouth?
Diedrich puts the ring in his mouth.
Roll me a
No!
Constitution save.
You got it, buddy.
Good.
Yeah. So you reflexively just swallow.
God damn it.
He says, "Now I really don't envy you in a few hours, boy." So he looks at Hardtack. He's
Why?
like, You have an interesting crew, Hardtack. I'll give you that.
That was fun.
Always very aspirational, but
Diedrich the garbage disposal.
odd. Yes.
Aye.
I'm getting that ring later.
I'm gonna take you to the island now, if that's all right with all of you.
And Cornelius, I want to say I appreciate you sharing this with us. If at any time we see Admiral Rose and he poses any threat to you, Linnea, we're all going to work together to overcome Admiral Rose if need be. Yes, and he's holding out his hand to.
So he
to shake
says,
on the deal.
he says, I would be lying if I said I didn't have reservations about one of the 5 Corsairs just agreeing to join with ye. Father or no, Linnea has. Do you know the reputation of your erstwhile companion over there?
Well, I've seen what she can do, and I can only imagine what reputation that has earned her.
They say that Admiral Rose is the strongest of the 5 Corsairs, but I've never been so sure. Linnea, the Tempest, has sunk in many a ship. When I met her, Admiral Rose was the one that recruited her into the press gang. And as I do for all members of the press gang, I came in for an inspection. And I'd never left so quickly in my life. She scares me, boy. He says, and if we do encounter Admiral Rose, the man who has known her for some 20 years, bred her, raised her up, I don't know where her loyalties will lie.
Well, it's me and you then, if that does happen to
He's
go
like,
the way you think it might.
he says, I hope so, loyal. I'm only interested in getting you to the island. As I said, I am no fighter. I've been round for a very long time, avoiding conflict. And he says, and speaking of such, I did a little digging on ye, Hardtack, for the inspection, and I'd come across an old friend of yours.
Friend?
Well, wasn't a friend at the time, but he seemed to vouch for ye. He said that not only did you not kill him, but ye left him on an island with a barrel of water and a fishing rod. Man named Black-Eyed Belvins.
Oh shit.
He said that he was grateful that ye let him live. Changed his perspective. I like ye, Hardtack. I like your crew. Pirates don't show mercy. But you've chosen a different path. And he straightens up his coat. He conjures another ring, puts it on his middle finger. And his cat gives like a meow. And he says, follow my lead. And he disappears in a burst of sea foam, reappears on his ship, and you begin to turn. Now, normally what we would do for these hex crawls is roll on a table. However, we're going to do your level up vignettes instead. We're going to start... Oh, yeah, because you're all level 7 now. We're going to start with... I should look at my Google Doc. Diedrich, we're going to start with you. So, Diedrich, this is the first day that you are all traveling north. Diedrich, you find yourself... You're throwing your Jimmy Buckets dagger in the air, and you're trying to dodge out of the way as it lands. You end up cutting yourself a couple of times. Because you try and throw it so high that you don't know where it's coming from, and then you look up at the last second as it lands, and you get cut a few times. And on the third or fourth time you throw it up, you look up and a hand comes into view and catches the dagger. Lysander is standing next to you. Yes, yeah. And he says, there's a... fuck, what's his voice again? Hello. Oh, Lysander. He says, he's like, Diedrich, I've noticed that you've, what are you doing? He's like, holy shit. And he just like takes a few steps back as the knife lands like where he was standing. And he says, you know, Diedrich, I've, my line, my lineage as an elf, I can teach you a few things. Maybe make you better at playing this game, eh? He says, all right, this is how we play it. And he takes an arrow and he shoots it up into the sky. And he closes his eyes and he takes a deep breath. And he just waits. And you feel the breeze. And as you feel yourself start to get a little antsy. And he says, wait, just listen. And he takes a step backward as the arrow lands right at his feet. And he says, it's not enough to just feel things, but just to listen. You've got to engage all 5 of your senses. Well, maybe not taste, that would be weird. But you've got to engage all of your relevant senses. And then snap decision. You can feel it. There's a field of energy around all living things. Rangers know it, druids know it, to a similar extent, clerics know it. You need to tap into that field, Diedrich. And he touches your forehead, and he opens his eyes and stares into your eyes, and his eyes glow green. And for a split second, through the energy in his hand, you're able to feel what you can only assume is what the green sight is that Juniper and Raven can feel. And he says, you're not tuned to nature like Raven or like Jay, but you can still tap into nature. It's everywhere. It's in the wind, the water. It's in all of us. And he says, now try again. And he shoots an arrow into the air, and you calm your body, and you tap into that same feeling, and you can feel the arrow cutting the wind above you as it's descending, and you catch it.
That's amazing.
Diedrich, you are a 7th level rogue. Now what does that mean? It means that your sneak attack has now gone up to 4d6.
Which is fucking insane.
And you gain the ability Evasion, which is what I had mistaken before. But
as uncanny dodge, yeah. Right?
Yes, I originally, yeah. So what Evasion is whenever you have to make a dex save that would deal half damage if you fail. If you pass, you take no damage. And if you fail, you only take half damage.
Okay.
What else does that mean? It means you gain some more HP. So why don't you roll me that hit dice button? We'll see how many hit points you get. 7 more. Nice. You now have 42 hit points. Very nice, very nice.
I've never
All right.
I've never had
What?
this many hit points in a campaign. ever. I'm like, it's so awesome. Okay.
Welcome to level 7, motherfucker. All right, nice. Next up, we'll go for Cove.
Wait, before you do that, I don't.
Oh,
see,
yeah, sorry,
I don't
yeah.
see evasion in the features and traits. Is that where it will go?
Yeah, I will put it in.
Okay, cool. Then we're good.
Yeah. Cove, you are standing with, I want to say Craig and McCracken. And you're having, I'd say Craig and Harkin. The two of them, you're all sitting together, eating. And Kragan seems to be debating with Harkin about where divine magic comes from. Harkin seems to think that it's just a formula, and you just like, it is like you purchase item. Yes, you say right words, you make right symbols, you throw dust in the air, you get magic. And Kragan's like, help me out here, brother.
I feel like for Cove, to try to find some middle ground, I would... Okay, so real quick, first of all, can you point out which one is which in the pictures?
Sure. So top right,
I think I got it.
Top right is Craig and McCracken,
Okay.
dwarf cleric, and then top left is Harkin, the
Gotcha.
wizard.
Gotcha. And it's the one on the top left that thinks that it just like happens.
Yeah, he says, he's like, it is formula. It's the same with wizard. With wizard, we make gestures, we say words, we use special components, we get magic. For divine, it is similar. You say words, something hears you, maybe, and you channel, you siphon energy, and you do it.
I mean, not to play whatever this equivalent of devil's advocate would be.
It can be devil's advocate, yes, there are devils.
Tiefling's advocate.
Who's to say that both ways can't be the right way to do magic?
So, Kragan is like, what do you mean the right way to do magic, lad?
I mean, doesn't it really, I mean, it goes to the same objective, whether you think that there's a formula or if you're talking to a god. Both ways will lead to you having your spell occur. Am I wrong?
I don't think that you're necessarily wrong. I think he's wrong. And he points to Harkin, and he says, lad, when you cast your spells, what kind of magic? Who do you pray to?
Saint Cuthbert.
Aye, Saint Cuthbert. Stand-up deity. I like Saint Cuthbert. Got strong morals, strong ideals, and he's not an arse. So, I noticed that you've got your spellcasting focus. What is your spellcasting focus, boy?
Tyler, what am I supposed to answer with?
So that it can be whatever you want. Your spellcasting focus is an item that is significant to your character that your character holds and channels magic through.
Oh. Cool. I didn't think about that. I feel like for Cove, it would be because of where he's from. Can it just be, this is gonna sound weird, just like a fishing hook type thing?
Totally fine.
With
totally
like
fine.
with like the symbol, but like he's made a symbol, the thing, like the symbol of Saint Cuthbert,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
has
that's fine.
attached it to the fishing hook, so it's
Perfect.
his old life and his new life put together.
Nice. Yeah. So you relay that and the significance of it. And Kragan says to Harkin, he's like, see that right there? That's devotion. That's dedication. And that is belief. And he stands up on the table and he's like, Justice Moradin! Smote the god of the goblins down into the mountainside and spat on his corpse! And he goes on for like 5 minutes.
I love him
And,
so much. We do not get to hang out with him. He's so funny.
To the point where you actually kind of get up and leave.
Can I sneak out of the room? I was gonna say I want to get out of that situation.
Yeah.
Like
You
slowly
sneak
start
out.
to walk out.
Yeah, you sneak out. He doesn't blink an eye. He's just shouting to the heavens, and he's just like, "And he swung his hammer down, smash on the boulders at the dust." And so you're just.
I got him on a religious spiel.
Yeah, you sneak out, and you breathe in the sea air, and you see Lucky Corey. Lucky Corey is holding something. She sees you and she kind of turns away.
What do you have there?
She
You
looks.
seem
up,
a little
she's
suspicious right
like,
now.
she's like, nothing. I don't have anything. Why would you think that? I've got nothing. What are you doing? What have you got there?
Look, I'm still new here. You don't have to hide things from me. You don't need to be afraid of whatever you're doing.
And she kind of looks down. She looks up. She turns and she opens her hand, and looks like she has one of Mikhail's like artifacts in her hands. She says, "It was shiny, so I took it."
What's the benefit to you stealing it?
I love Cole.
If
Well,
there's something you need, wouldn't it make more sense to ask for the help?
She says, "Who would help someone like me?"
I could help you. What do you need?
And she, when you say "I could help you," you notice that she tears up a little bit,
Oh,
and she says, she gives you a hug.
I mean, I'm gonna hug her back.
Okay, yeah. That's, she says, "I think I needed that." And
Gains 1 hit point.
I hugged her.
And when you're done hugging, she kind of she wipes the tears away, and she says, "I'm gonna get this back." And she turns to go, and Cove, you hear a voice echo through your mind. You hear almost like a choir behind it. It sounds musical, but it is in perfect harmony with itself. It says, "The tenets of law, the tenets of justice, are not always the tenets of punishment. You embody my will, and thus you shall be rewarded." And the sky is overcast, but the clouds part very briefly, and Cove, you feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. And a swell of energy, of divine power, as you hold out your hands, your whole body begins to glow. And you are level 7 cleric.
Let's go.
That was so
Damn.
fucking deep.
I think that while the energy is flowing, I think that Cove would look up and just say thank you.
Oh, are you so
Hell yeah.
wholesome?
Hell yeah, that was great.
Because I have to be.
Dude.
Amazing. So Cove, you're level 7 cleric. What does that mean? It means you gain access to 4th tier spells.
Let's go.
You can prepare another spell per day. And yeah, some of those spells are already in your divine domain, so they're already prepped.
Mhm, mhm.
Also, you gain more hit points. So why don't you go ahead and roll that hit dice button? Oh!
Give
42 hit points.
Oh, thank God I was so weak.
Fuck yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Very nice. Let's see. We already went over Juniper. Hardtack. Hardtack, what's up?
Yo.
So Hardtack, you are hanging out on the deck. There's a clap of thunder, and Linnea is standing next to you, and she's just looking around the ship. Particularly, she eyes Diedrich, and she kind of squints, and you see that the snake coiled around her neck, it hisses in his direction. And
Diedrich
she
hisses
says,
back.
"Well, no, you're like all the way on the other side of the ship, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and she says, so, get a lot of shopping done?
I did. Actually, I got this. And I just like turn and show her the hat that she can't see.
She says, huh, nice.
And I got this. And he like kind of reaches into his back pocket. He kind of has the shirt kind of, I guess, draped in his belt. So he just kind of pulls it out and then grabs it by the shoulders, gives it a shake so it's not wrinkled. Just like, got this for you. It's the daughter shirt.
So she reaches out and she takes the shirt and she says, am I gonna wear this?
You don't have to wear it if you don't want to, but I just wanted you to have it to do whatever you'd like with it. You could put it away, never wear it. You could hang it on your walls of your boat, or just stash it away. Whatever you want to do with it. I just wanted to give you that.
So she says, I've been on that sloop for a few days. You never visited.
Well, we've only been at sea for a couple of days. We had the shopping trip. We got to meet Giselle. Have you met Giselle before? You seem pretty close.
Yeah. I know the Seaside Extravaganza.
Mm.
We've come across a few times. She's given quite a few magic items. But Dad, what exactly were you planning on doing with me?
Well, I've only known you for until a few week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I didn't even know you existed. I hope you understand. I've never had to be a father before. I'm a man of the sea. You know what it's like. I'm trying to learn what. How about this? What do you want me as your dad to do or be for you? Why have you searched to find me? What are you looking for? What do you seek?
So she says, I never told Mom this. I have always wanted to sail, that's true. But I would have been just as happy staying at the inn. But when she told me that that's why you left, I decided that I wanted to see what was so great about this life that you decided to leave for it. And I'd like to say that I understand, and to an extent, I do. But now that we're here, Dad, I don't have a crew anymore. I'm not a captain. I'm just a stowaway. And when we get to that island, when we see the rest of them, Rose and Mercury and Deacon, they won't take as kindly to you as I have. I guess what I'm trying to say is what I want is for us to have a relationship. But as pirates. Does that make sense?
As pirates.
I've got a life for myself, Dad. I do what I do and I love it. And I'd love for you to love it as well. But especially a few days ago, it seemed like you don't have the stomach to do what I do.
Linnea, you've heard of me on the seas. I've made a name for myself, haven't I?
Yeah.
And you've made a name for yourself, as
That's
I've heard.
right.
But we've made that name in very different ways. I think we're both successful. We're both powerful. We're both strong, independent. We've both made a name for ourselves. But my style might be different from your style. That's okay. We're just different pirates. I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You could probably learn a thing or two from me. So I agree we should be pirates. We should have a relationship. We should get to know each other more, get to see more of each other out on the sea and elsewhere. But I hope you aren't faulting me for not being the same pirate you are.
So she looks ponderously down for a few moments, and she says, "Damn, that doesn't make sense to me."
Yeah, right?
Hardtack, would you roll me a d20?
That was really amazing, Hardsack. Like, I was expecting her to be, like, you have to do, like, a don't be so violent kid. And
That's
you
a
really,
3.
you really turned that around.
So,
Soft parenting.
Yeah.
So at this moment, Mikhail steps up to the deck, and she walks over to the two of you, and she says, "I'm sorry, I don't think we've properly met. I'm Mikhail Drid, officer, former officer, deputy chief officer of internal affairs at Sunhome." And she extends a hand, and Linnea just kind of like squints at her, and Mikhail's very smart, she's very pragmatic. Mikhail just touches your shoulder, Hardtack, very briefly. And Linnea, you see her eyes quickly dart to your shoulder, and then back to Mikhail, and then back to you. And storm clouds begin to gather above the ship. And she says, "And what are you? What are you to her, Dad?"
Well, we've been pretty close for the last few months.
And? What did you think that... Have you just forgotten? You've forgotten about... what, you left? Who you left? What, does it mean nothing to you all of a sudden? Who do you think you are? And she looks at Mikhail, and she takes a step forward, and you notice that the wings on her snake flare out. And Mikhail, she looks at you, Hardtack, and she looks back at Linnea, and she says, I'm not going to get involved in this. This isn't my business. But you know what I am to him. And she says, I'll let you deal with this Hardtack. And she turns and she walks away.
She is such a fucking baddie.
Hardtack, like, while that was happening, kind of started to move in between, like, now face to face with Linnea.
Linnea is seething right now. What would you like to do, Hardtack?
So Hardtack, he rolls up his wrist, and the first thing that stands out is the tattoo, like the last letter of mark, the glowing big tattoo thing that's on his arm. And he shows that to her and says, we both share this. We both have this tattoo on our arm. I kind of grab her arm and pull her sleeve up as well to show, and we're arm to arm. And then I pull out I take my other wrist and I pull up the sleeve, and you see just a very dirty, ratty, weathered bracelet, a sailor's knot bracelet that is. It basically looks like it's been melded to my skin at this point. I've worn it for years. And I show her, and I say, me and you don't share this. And he's holding up the bracelet. But me and your mom do. Because this was one thing we shared right before I was shipped away the first time. She has one, I had one. We jumped in the ocean. It shrank. We can't take them off. And I've never taken it off. So you and I might share this, and he pointed the tattoo. But me and your mom share this, and I've never forgotten. I've never changed. I've never ignored the fact that she was the reason I'm who I am today.
The storm clouds vanish as quickly as they came. And Linnea, she says, I'll make you a deal, Dad. If you teach me how to say my infernal name, I'm going to teach you something that I learned from Admiral Rose himself. Alright?
Say that's a pretty good deal.
So, she says, I'm going to teach you how to cast, what were the spells that you wanted to learn? Shadow of the Moil, right? So, yeah, so she says, I'm going to teach you. So she said, one day, I was on the rocks, you see, and we were in a pinch, right? The Storm Crow and the Axel, that's Admiral Rose's ship. We were in a dogfight, and enemy captain leaps onto the ship, single-hand combat with Rose. Rose doesn't realize there's 6 guys right behind him, ready to stab him. Rose, without missing a beat, summons some big beastie onto the ship, right onto the ship. Beastie takes out the 6 men. Rose kills the captain. Done. I ask him how he does it. He gives me this. And she takes out what looks like a very, old piece of coral. And she says he's got a few of these. Gives me a couple. Naturally, I pop one in my mouth. Now I can do it too. And she tosses one to you. And she says, now, you know that the way that we learn, the way that we can cast our spells is to become more like the sea. She takes another, what looks like a little eye, like a squishy eye, and she says, now this is something that Rose doesn't even know. And she gives it to you. She says, how would you like to be able to see through things?
What?
I would like that very much.
Fucking Superman over here.
So you eat them, and you start coughing, similar to the experience that you have whenever you eat weird things from the sea. But when you open your eyes, you're looking at the floor. You can see through the floor. Everything seems ghostly and wispy, but you see people moving, your crew moving through the floor. You see Swablin is just standing like this, and at just like no one, and he seems like he's practicing something. But you see all sorts of things, and you look up at Linnea, and she's got a hand out to help you up.
Grab it.
All right, you grab it. She helps you up. Hardtack, you are a level 7 warlock.
Let's go.
Fuck yeah.
Whoop 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 whoop.
So now you know 4th level spells. I'm going to put those spells in at some point.
That's pretty amazing. Like your spell. Like I don't know if I've looked or like even know what all of your things are, because sometimes you'll cast something mid-session. And I'm like, where the fuck and when the fuck did you get that?
Yeah,
And I like
it's
to
pretty
use
cool.
things once and then swap it out.
Right,
So
yeah,
then
yeah,
you never
yeah.
know what's gonna come
Totally.
next.
Yeah.
Dude, if you want to throw up, I'll show you my character sheet later.
Okay. Bet.
Yeah. You also know a new Eldritch Invocation, which is the ghost site, and you get more hit points. So once you roll me the hit
Yee.
dice button.
All right, let's see
Please,
how it
you
goes.
need them.
Oh god, please, big money.
Oh my god.
Little money. That's fine. You have 32 hit points.
Glass cannon.
That's alright. You don't have to
just-
do shit.
yeah.
You
Oh
can
my
just
God.
thunderclap away. Like,
That's true. That's
That's
true.
right.
That's true. Nice. All right, and last but not least,
Can I quickly
And so-
roleplay the?
yeah, please,
The-
yeah.
So she wanted to know her name in.
Yeah.
Her,
Oh, absolutely. That's right.
So I'm like, thank you very much for teaching me those things. Has anybody ever spoken Infernal to you before?
I've met some tieflings before.
Okay.
And of course, they'd start speaking to me in Infernal, but I didn't know how to say, I don't know what you're saying, mate. But,
Yeah.
so, yeah, a couple of times.
Okay. Well, your name means one from the deep. That's, I mean, the rough translation to it in our common language. But, gosh, it's been so long since I've spoken Infernal. Just, and he like kind of coughs, and he coughs a little bit more. And I'm assuming, and feel free to take these liberties away, but I'm assuming that like a little bit of sparks and like smoke and flame come out as he's coughing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying to like get the Infernal back out.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, well, your name that me and your mother agreed on whenever you were a kid was all right. Let me see if I can still do this.
Kium Abizak. Kium Abizak.
So she looks at you and she's like,
Kium Abizak.
Perfect.
Did I get it right?
I think you got it right. Yeah. Great job, kid.
She
Wait,
says,
so Tessie knew about that you had a kid? Like, you got this lady pregnant and like decided what their name was together, or like did you not know about her? I'm confused.
they were spitballing one day about like if we ever had a kid, what would we name it?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
she was
Tessie
like,
did-
"Oh, how about this?" And he was like, "How about this?"
Right.
And she was like, "I can't say that." But yeah. So
That is so.
Yeah.
That was so fucking cool.
Nice.
You two, like, you're.
I like that. I was pulling up the voice mod, and I was like, "Oh, please pull up the voice mod, Tessie, please, please, please." You fucking did. So
guys
Yeah.
Look at these little
There you go.
nerds.
No communication. Just head.
They literally.
We had it. We shared the brain cell.
The same
Yeah,
brain cell.
perfect.
Like.
it's fucking great. I love you, buddy. All right, so so yeah, so I'll say that you go downstairs after and Mikhail is kind of sitting on the edge of the bed, and she
Can I
She looks up-
jokingly limp in?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
yeah. You jokingly limp in, and she looks up. She's like, "Oh my god, are you all right?" And she looks at you like she's like, "Oh, this is a bit okay, nice." And she embraces you. She wraps her arms around your neck, and she says, "I'm proud of you."
Thanks. That was. I was thinking for a very long time how I was going to break the news that hey, Mikhail here, hey. But you definitely helped with that, so thank you for doing that.
I'm not interested in hiding. And she's an adult. She should know what adults do. And she gives you a smooch.
Mooch counter.
Smooch counter. We can tell
Counter.
Bella. And she whispers in your ear. She's like, also, it's your mother and I, not me and your mother. And
oh my god.
we cut to Raven. This is days later. I would say maybe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days later? It's 5 days after the Seaside Extravaganza. You are hanging out with, you know what, Raven? Who among the crew would you like to hang out with? I don't want to just be like you only hang out with Lysander. So like, who among the crew do you want to hang out with today? Who among the crew? Could be anyone. Could be multiple people. It's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
It could also be Lysander. Like it's up to you.
Pick Lysander.
And no, I'm just trying to think. Maybe Mel would be cool.
Nice. Okay.
That's pretty
Yeah. So you're hanging out with Mel, and Mel suggests this game. She's like, all right, so here's what you're gonna do. I want you to try and shoot me, and I'm gonna just like, you're taking flying lessons basically, where like the two of you leap up into the air, activate your wings, and will just like spar. And so you're flying in the air. You're just like from the ground perspective. I'm gonna say that Mikhail is standing out on the deck, and she's just looking up, and she sees this like trail of red and this trail of black just like flying around each other. Arrows are coming out, the flash of a sword. Mel is deflecting your arrows. You're just like shooting. You've got like blunted arrows that like sometimes will nail her. And the two of you land, out of breath, panting, and Mel's like, "You're pretty damn good." She says, "But I don't know. Maybe it's the wind, but you missed a few shots." She's like, "I mean, look, it's okay. Nobody hits everything. I haven't hit everything. But your flying's getting much better. It seems like you've got a real handle on it."
It's an adjustment period for sure.
she says, "Well, you'll get the hang of it. Took me a little while to get the hang of this, but you're doing great, doing great." She says, "I'm gonna go eat my weight in steak," and so she goes.
We have
she goes.
steak?
She's like, "Don't say it out. Don't say it loud."
Sorry. But
She's like,
you have steak?
She's like, "Yeah, you want steak? I'll make you
Yeah.
steak."
I'm famished. I mean,
She's
flying
like, "All right."
takes it out of you.
She's like,
Apparently.
"The only one that knows is Chare, so."
Okay.
But it's because he prepares the steak.
Got
So,
it. Okay.
All right, meet me in like an hour.
Okay.
All right, and so she goes below deck, and Mikhail's eyeing your longbow,
Mm-hmm.
and she says, Raven, do you have any like emotional attachment significance to your longbow? She's like, okay.
No idea.
Why?
She says, so, what Mel was saying, that, sometimes you miss your shots, which is fine.
Mm.
I've been working on something, obviously it stopped when I was turned to stone, but it was one of my side projects. I've been working on, like, modding your bow.
This bow? My bow?
Yeah, or giving you a modded bow. That's artificer speak. Modifying, and modifying your longbow. There is a fighting style, you see, called the Arcane Archer,
Mm-hmm.
and Arcane Archers they infuse magic into their arrows as they fire them, and they're able to use that magic to kind of bend the properties of the arrows. Sometimes the arrows, they gain special abilities. But what I noticed is that very experienced arcane archers have the ability to not only infuse magic into the arrows, but manipulate those arrows mid-flight. I believe that I have found a way to capture that ability into the modification, if you would have it, into a modded longbow.
Well, at heart, I'm, survival. I'm a hunter, and I think that I've learned from a very early age that you can't hold sentiment to items, but rather to people and experiences. And I think Raven looks over and looks at her friends and her boy over there just over there.
Yeah, Lysander, he gives you a wink.
Don't say that, Tyler. Was that a roll?
Tyler,
He's
stop.
petting Lullaby.
Oh God.
But then Raven, looks back at Mikhail and says, "So if there's something that can help, I'm happy to take it."
So she says, "Oh, good, I already made it." And so she reaches into her bag of holding and she pulls out this longbow, and it's got two strings. One string looks normal. One string is this special-looking thread. It seems like it's woven of several different metals and different threads. It's different strings. And she says, now what you do is you pinch both of them together with the arrow, and then it infuses it. Now, whenever you fire an arrow, if you miss, you can try and hit, you can bend the arrow so it hits another target within 60 feet of the target. You can curve it. I call it the curve shot. Now, I'm hoping that this is helpful. I know that that Shadow Man is still out there, and I don't want to be turned to stone again.
Understandably.
And I would, yeah, thank you. I would much prefer that not happen again. So, if I can give my allies any advantage possible, then I shall do so.
Which I'm sorry for. By the way, I don't think I've ever said that to you. I'm sorry that you got caught in the middle of something that was my fault. And I hope to not have that happen again.
She as she hands you the bow, as you put your hand to take it, she holds on to it a little tightly, and you look up at her and she says, I want to make something very, very clear, Raven. What happened to me is not your fault. What happened to me was the result of bad people trying to silence good work. Bad people do that. They try and stop people from doing good things. What's important is that we push through anyway. And she releases the bow, and she says, You have suffered much adversity in your life. I know what that's like, not to that degree and not to that experience, but I know what it's like to have nobody listen. But we're listening now. And she says, You're all family to me. And she gives you a nod. She says, Sorry, I'm not good at speeches. And she says, I hope you enjoy the bow. And she walks away.
I'm gonna fucking cry. Why are you a poet this episode? Like, Tyler has been, like, with absolute bangers back and forth. Oh my gosh.
Oh, thanks. And at that, Raven, you begin to train with the arrow, with the bow, and you do notice that, like, you put, like, a barrel on one part and then a barrel, like, all the way on the other side, like 60 feet away from the ship. And you notice that when you fire the arrow, and the arrow misses, you bend it, and you can feel just the slightest bit of your green sight pushing the arrow to the left or to the right, and it hits into other things. And the next time you spar with Mel, even when you miss, you notice that, like, so right before you went up to spar with Mel, like right before she's like, all right, you ready? You lined 3 barrels up on the ground, and you say, like, all right, you're ready. And even when you miss shots, the arrows sail past Mel. She's like, ha ha, little off your game today. And when you're done, when you finally land, she looks behind her at the 3 barrels, and every arrow that missed her is in a bullseye on that arrow, in a bullseye on the barrel.
Behind her?
Yeah, behind her.
Cool.
And she's like, holy shit. Damn! Raven, you are a level 7 ranger.
Hop
Now, what does that mean?
off.
Whoop.
So now, level 7 for rangers, they don't get good things. You learn a new spell, and now Lullaby's attacks are magical. But, like, that's it.
Yeah.
So, instead, you have gained the Arcane Archer 7th level ability, Curve Shot.
Hell yeah.
And that is, on your turn, when you miss with a magical arrow, it has to be an arrow with magical properties, so like any of the ones that you bought, any of the fire arrows, anything like that. When you miss, you can use a bonus action to re-roll the attack roll against any enemy that's within 60 feet of the target.
Got it.
So there you go. Nice. And also, you gain some hit points. So why don't you roll with them hit dice? Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
Nice.
Dusty.
I just
48
don't
hit
get
points
my
for
hit
Raven.
dice
I know,
rolls.
it's so weird.
Everyone's like 40, 50. Hi, I'm
I think it's
32.
nice because, like, you're still an old man. You
It
know?
makes
Like,
sense.
I think that's
still
really
a-
good. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's something
I'm
kinda
still
on brand
not-
about it.
a young, strong man.
Yeah,
so
I think
it makes
it's
sense
awesome.
for me to be a
Yeah. I
absolute.
think it's awesome that, like, you just broke the 40s. Oh no,
I
you
broke
just
the
broke the
30s.
30s.
You
yeah.
just broke the 30s for
Oh
hit
my
points.
God.
Like, that's incredible.
I've got glass bones and paper skin.
Yeah, Hardtack
At level
loses
7.
HP every level
level
up because he's
7.
getting older.
Fuck yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. So that is, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to bring us back to the map in a moment. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. On the sixth day, you spy something in the distance.
I have a quick.
Yes, yeah, Cove.
So, every space we move is that a day or?
It's a day.
Yeah, it's a day.
So could I argue that I long rested?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
We
yeah.
all have,
Cool.
yeah,
You,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. You've
Okay.
all long rested. Yeah.
I haven't been here for all this talk before,
No, you're fine.
so
You're fine.
I'm
You're
just-
fine. You're fine.
Fair.
Sorry, I need spells.
No, you're totally good. You're totally good.
Heard all
I'm
of
just gonna
those
mark
gnomes.
the days. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're on the 6th day. So on the 6th day, you spy something in the distance. It looks huge. You see a plume of smoke even further out, but you seem to be gaining on what looks like an enormous ship, and I'm going to bring you all to it.
Oh,
This ship seems to be made of other ships, and huge skulls of giant sea monsters. And I'll say that Linnea has been coming out of her shell a little bit. She's been walking around the ship. As you spot that in the distance, I'm going to say that all of you are together at this point. The 5 of you.
Yeah. Family dinner.
And yeah, and Linnea, she says, there's the Axel.
Axel.
Yeah, it's Rose's ship.
Rose's ship, huh? Never seen a ship like that.
Literally look like a ship. Looks like a crash site.
It, I don't know how it moves, if I'm being honest. I think it might be magic, but, I mean, it must be magic. But, he moves about. It's not the fastest ship, but it's bloody huge. We're gaining on it, which is great. And she points out to the smoke. She says, out there, I think that might be our destination. And almost as if on cue, there is a, like a puff of sea foam. Cornelius, because your ships have been basically next to each other, Cornelius, he says, the island is a giant volcano. I'd been there once before. Didn't think to look for a temple underneath it. Not that I'd be able to see into the water, mind you, because the smoke is preventing any light from entering the waves. What I believe is about to happen is, there's no doubt Rose is going to get there first. But once he does, we're going to have to beat him there.
Beat him to the temple.
Aye. Rose will land on the island before us.
Right. Okay. How do you
I'd
propose
love
we
to
do
hear-
that?
He says, well, I don't know what this wee business is. You lot will have to devise a plan.
Rick looks at hardtack.
Hardtack then looks at Linnea and says, well, you know him the best out of all of us here. What do you think what's his weakness? How do we do we get to the temple first?
Rose is very single-minded. When he wants something, he only focuses on that. So I imagine that he'll be blind to everything else that's going on, unless it's directly in his way.
Do you think he still trusts you?
I don't know. I don't know if he knows what happened on the island. If he doesn't, it should be fine. But he'll wonder where my crew is. But if he does, I'll be dead before I get to him. If he sees me.
Cause a distraction.
That might be too risky.
Yeah, we can cause a distraction. I mean, he's pretty single, like tunnel vision minded. So if we cause a distraction, he's not gonna care.
Dad, you know how you've got your familiar, I've got my familiar. Cornelius, Duststar had his sword. They're all gifts from the behemoth, but they're not the only gifts. Rose has somehow managed to get multiple gifts from the behemoth.
Yes.
He's got a sword, he's got a familiar, and he's got a book.
What kind of book?
He calls it his Book of Shadows.
Oh shit. What's
Now-
it do?
I suspect if we can take the gifts away from him,
Okay.
we might be able to do something about it.
Okay. That's starting to sound like a plan.
Only problem
Also-
is he's got a bloody huge crew.
I'm also thinking, though, if he's very single-minded, one-track mind, what if he's working off some slightly inaccurate information?
Like what?
Well, I mean, throw a red herring somewhere. Make him start looking somewhere else while we're looking in the right places.
I told him the same thing that I told all of you. It's, the thing is, Hardtack, when he lands on the island, he's going to be searching for the temple. I don't know where it is, and neither does he. Neither do any of us.
Okay. Is there a way for us to like figure out like where it is or get a clue that we can like I don't know maybe like give him a red herring so he's looking in the wrong place but we're looking in the right place?
We might be able to distract the crew.
Okay.
We'll need multiple ships, though. What I suggest is his ship will arrive at the island at a certain spot. If your ship arrives on the other side of the island, you might be able to find it before he does, because your ship is much faster than the Axel.
Linnea, we have your ship as well, and I'm sure yours is faster than ours.
Aye, but it's a sloop. I don't, it's good for a day's travel, maybe? Once we see the island, we should be able to get there. But they might see us if we cut across, unless we distract them. Maybe with your ship. Maybe with Cornelius's.
Maybe with all three.
Maybe
Hardtack
with
pulls
all
out the
three.
fold-a-boat.
Yeah, that's right.
Is there room on the deck right now for him to throw it?
Yeah, there's kind of room. There's kind of room. You can do it.
He throws it,
Yeah.
and he's like,
So you throw it, and Strom's like, ah! And he just like runs away as this like it comes out.
and I've got this.
So
We're practically a fleet.
So Cornelius, he says, I. Looks like we've got a plan then. He said. So Cornelius, he says, so we'll sail around we can use my ship and the Freedom's Fury as a distraction. Maybe Rose, I have no doubt, will take his own sloop, go straight to the island. But the rest of the crew, in that massive abomination, will chase after our 2 ships,
Right.
thinking that they can hunt us down.
Yeah.
Now, we'll probably get away. Unless they start launching their own sloops after us. But, my ship is, I've got one of the I don't mean to brag, but I've got quite a fast ship. But, what say ye? You land on the other side?
Sneakily go in while they're distracted with the other ones. But then
Aye.
that's the tricky part, right? Because now that we're on the 5 of us are on loop, or 6 of us including Naya, we have to steal the 3 gifts from Homeboy, but he won't have his crew to back him up, so.
Who knows who he'll take with him? Probably only his most trusted. Perhaps he'll take the other captains, the other corsairs. Either way, if we don't deal with him on the sea, we'll deal with him on the land.
Sounds good.
Then we have a plan. And as you are discussing this plan, you see in the distance a massive island. This island, it has some trees, a dense jungle around an impossibly tall volcano that is constantly spewing this smoke. You notice that the sun's rays are no longer visible as you cross into the smoke. And do you have any last things to say to each other before you set this plan?
Can I ask Chare about the winged fae?
Sure. Yeah.
I go up to Chare and I say, "Hey, is this a buddy of yours? Do you know who this is?"
Chare is like, I've never seen this guy in my fucking life.
But the fact
I don't know who this guy is. Look, if this guy's encased in this,
Right.
it was probably for a fucking good reason. And he pulls out his pendant that has Creevy in it.
Oh yeah,
You notice that it's the same material that he's trapped in.
I forgot
And-
about Creepy.
He's like, oh yeah, no, look, I didn't forget about Creevy. I've been siphoning energy off of this schmuck for like weeks.
Can I siphon energy off of this schmuck?
Well, no, because maybe. I don't know. Look, if you want to make a deal, then maybe. But look, I made a deal with Creevy. I got a year of his life. So all the shit that he was going to do this year,
Yeah.
that's my shit now.
Yeah.
That's my stuff. I got his whole life. I got a year of his life. You know how much you can do in a year? Like mortals, normies can do in a year? I got so much power from this guy.
Okay, all right. Relax, Chare. Relax. I'm not giving you a year of my life.
All right, well, how about a day?
How about an hour?
I get an hour of your life
Get an hour of my life.
in exchange for what?
But not this hour. I get to decide when that hour happens.
Tell you what, how about it can't be within the time of the contract that I have with all you already.
So like it'll happen after the contract.
Yeah, happen after, let's see, how many days has it been?
It's a great question, actually. Is Chari gonna come back
Are
and
we-
fucking murder us all when the contract's over?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 8 through 9. It's been 40 days, so
Can any of us
can't be within the
hear?
next 20 days.
Are any of
Yeah.
us over there? We all hear
Yeah,
this
you're
happening?
all there. You're all there. Yeah. He's like,
Okay.
can't be within the next 20 days. Yeah?
Can I cast command on Diedrich?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Diedrich, roll
Okay.
me a wisdom save.
Okay.
Put that in chat, Cove, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course.
Great.
Am I casting it?
What level do you want to cast at? Or I guess, does that matter?
No, it just changes I think the distance.
Oh, okay. So your spell save DC is 15.
Beats it, right?
Oh, yeah, Diedrich, you passed. Cove,
Ugh.
what's your command? What's your one-word command?
The command was gonna be stop.
I figured.
So Cove
just
says,
say it.
stop, and there's like an echo. And Diedrich, you feel yourself freeze for a second, but you just like you break out of it. And Chari's like,
Well, okay,
Chari glares at you.
before anything happens
Cove.
to Chari, I turn around. Cove. What?
Is now the time to be doing these kinds of things?
Probably not. I just wanted to ask about that thing in Amber. We'll talk later, Chari.
So Chari's
Let's
like,
bookmark this.
So Chari says, technically, your friend just tried to do you harm. So, I'm just letting you know, I have jurisdiction to kill him. I'm not gonna, but I'm just letting you know.
Chare, relax, buddy. You are hyped up on Creed right now. You've been smoking too much Creevy.
Yeah, I think I've been holding on to Creevy too long.
You need to maybe, the power of Creevy is starting to take over your body, man. You need to throw it in the fires of Mount fucking. He points the volcano up ahead.
He says, look, I'm not gonna get into semantics, but we'll talk after.
We'll talk,
Don't you worry,
Chare. We'll
Deidre.
talk.
I got plans.
Before we jump into anything else,
Yeah.
Raven would like to go over to Hardtack.
Yes.
This temple that we're looking for, would you say that you think it's magical? Is it a magical temple?
I'm gonna go with yes.
I think it is
I'm gonna go with yes.
fairly safe to assume
Yeah.
that the
I think
temple
you might have killed
housing
Tyler.
the power of multiple warlock pirates across the seas has some level of magic to it, yes.
I'm a simple
Oh.
girl from the forest. I'm just asking questions. I may have something that can help us find it faster,
Really? What?
theoretically.
Oh, I'm not here.
Oh my god, you're right.
I'm all ears.
I have detect magic.
You're so smart.
So when we get onto the island, I can do it for up to 10 minutes. And I can probably, theoretically, fly around a little and see if I can pinpoint where the magic is.
Also, the forest is your favorite terrain, and there is forest all around the island.
Damn, this is you're so fucking smart.
Hardtack,
Who's to say, while you're also doing that, I can't take the sea route around the island?
Yeah, that's true. Also, Juniper can literally turn into a
just
shark.
throwing it out there that, might be helpful. I might have something that might help us.
We're like really
So,
talented people. We could do
from
stuff.
behind Raven's right ear, she feels just like a little flutter of wind as
Squiffy.
Squiffy is just like hovering right behind.
Forgot about Squiffy.
And then he just like Hardtack blinks, his eyes turn white, and then you just see Hardtack's eyes and Squiffy, and he just kind of whispers, and it's like, "I'll fly with you, don't worry." And then he flutters back, and then Hardtack's back.
Great. Nice. Is there anything else that you would all like to RP with each other before you?
I think Hardtack wants to have a quick conversation with Linnea. It
Okay.
just says, very simply, I know we're about to reach the island, which I see the temple is. We have to stick together, right?
Yeah.
Because I know you're a powerful warlock, powerful pirate. But trust is very important to me. And I know I haven't been around for long, and I probably haven't earned it yet. But I really want to earn your trust through this. And I don't want to lose any trust in you. So we should stick together.
She says, "All right. I don't plan on losing you again, Dad. Not
I
after
plan
we
on
just
keeping
got to
you
know each
around.
other. For you, I would betray Rose. Let's do it.
There's a lot happening. There's a lot of moving parts.
Mikhail, she says, point of order. What are we staying on the ship? It's just that the 6 of you are going, right? Great.
I mean,
great.
how many of us can fit on the one little boat?
The sloop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like 10 can fit on the fold boat.
I think Hardtack will
Yeah.
Hardtack will kind of climb onto the mast a little bit, so he's like a little bit elevated and hanging. And he says, "All right, so there's going to be a lot of danger. You might die. You might lose a limb. You might lose an eye. You might lose a tooth. I don't know what it might be, but it's dangerous, and it's very dangerous. That being said, who wants to come along to the Danger Island? Dangerous Volcano Island. Raise your hands, please."
All right, Deidre raises his hand. Cove reluctantly raises his hand. I'll say that Juniper raises their hand as well. And Harkin just like harumphs and walks forward. You see his robes, his brand new robes are like moving in the wind, and he says, "You promised we get to temple, we get to raid temple. This is promise that you made. This is contract." And he like reaches into his robes and pulls up the contract.
Harkin,
Yes.
raise your hand.
He raises
You're
his
coming
hand.
along.
Diedrich goes over to Harkin when he raises his hand and high fives Harkin's raised hand and says, "Let's go, teach."
He's like, I despise you. The other unpleasants raise their hands. Kragan, he says, "I'll do no good on islands. I'm gonna stay here and protect this fucking goblin." Yeah?
Can Cove go over and ask Lucky Corey to come with?
She says, "What? Me? What? Why me? What good would I be? I'm a thief."
And we need to sneak in somewhere.
Lucky Corey, you're the sneakiest kid on the streets. Come on.
All right.
I believe in you.
Every NPC to go onto the island with.
I know, we just bring the entire crew.
Well, Jameson
yeah, I was
is
gonna say
like,
Silver
I'm
Tide."
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving the ship. I'm not going onto some mysterious island with dangerous warlocks and everything. I'd rather stay here on a place where I know that I'm completely safe.
All right, you
So-
stay here and lead the chase of the rest of the crew that's gonna chase after this boat when you guys go by. So
Great.
Good
You want
on
a
you, you stay
distraction?
here.
I'm very good at distracting. So, you all have fun. I'm
We
going to
forget
stay
about
here with the
him.
goblin and the dwarf and whoever else is here. Mikhail, I guess, if she's going to be here.
I think Hardtack kind of like eyes at Mikhail, like, do you want to come along or do you want to stay?
So Mikhail, she says, "I'll come.
really?
Absolutely." She says, "I said to Raven earlier, day or two ago, and I'll say it to you now. Not a lot of people would stick their necks out for me. And you did it."
Hardtack goes and sticks his neck out.
She playfully like gives you a little pinch. And she says, "You saved my city. You didn't just save me. You saved a lot of people. And I haven't really been able to repay that. But I can try. So, yes, I'm coming."
Love you, Mom. Mikhail.
She gives you a big hug, Diedrich, and she like kind of pats the back of your head, and she takes the rest of you in like a small huddle, and you too, Cove, you're there, and she says, "We started this together. Let's finish it together."
Everybody silently nods except for Diedrich, who
yeah.
Diedrich, who very loudly agrees. And at that, you begin to catch up to the axle. And you begin to enact your plan. And from here, sorry, I have to turn the sound up because I can't
Here we
hear.
go.
The plume of smoke can be seen from dozens of miles away. The ominous rumble can be felt even aboard the ship. The feeling of danger, of dread, permeates the entire crew. The boats begin to lower from the ship into the water. And you see that the beach is made of black sand. Raven eyes the tree line in the distance, her hand subconsciously moving to her longbow. She feels a hand on her back and turns. Juniper, with Chare flitting above her, sits down next to her, and gives her a reassuring look. They've had an interesting journey since the day that they left the forest, but they survived it together. Lullaby leans his weight on the two friends, and they look forward. Diedrich runs his hand through the water, and Penny crawls out of his shirt and onto his hand, leaving a trail of slime down his arm. We see a surprised look on Diedrich's face. When did Penny get so big? Hardtack gazes up at the looming volcano. No matter what lies ahead, things are about to change. The Unpleasants all look at one another, preparing for an adventure, and another rumble shakes the ground, but this one feels different, rhythmic, like laughter. Our heroes race to the end of their quest, not knowing if they're going to make it out alive.
Dun dun dun.